Hmm. All right. Mm. Okay. Um,
What's up, man?
Yo.
Big bone is not a thing, dude.
Is it not a thing?
Nah, it's not scientifically accurate. Everybody's bones are the same size as long as you're the same height.
Hmm.
Your weight has nothing to do with the size of your bones. People can have more dense or less dense bones, but it has nothing to do with the fat on your body, period. Big bone is not a thing. If somebody is a little bit chunky and they're like, oh no, I'm just big, nah, nope, no, you're not. Nope, you're just fat, period.
Mm. I wonder where did they come from that? Like, what made them think of something like big bone?
It's a cop out, just like every other fucking cop out, right?
Mhm.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not trend seeking. I'm just a cross dresser. Why are you cross dressing? Because you're trans? You just don't want to fucking say anything? It's a cop out, dude. It's just a fucking cop out.
Well, at least you gotta request up to get let up.
So two things we do have control of are losing weight and our behaviors. And you don't have to change your behaviors much to lose weight. It's pretty freaking simple. Stop ordering Domino's 4 fucking times a day. Maybe get on some protein shakes and go to the gym. Start walking. Do
Mm.
something.
Do you believe weight impacts your behavior, or your behavior impacts your weight? Or
Both.
was it both? Yeah. Okay. And then what way, like, explain, like, how do they kind of counter with each other?
So weight can impact your behavior in that you don't want to go out and walk or go to the gym or do whatever. But your behavior can also impact your weight in that if you don't want to go to the gym or go walk or do something productive or be healthy, you're going to get heavy.
Mm. Okay. Do you believe, like, say if, because I think I just seen a video today where they was saying, like, this girl was getting on this other girl, like, how you gonna ask for a dude that's muscular and she was big? He like, don't you believe you would have a mentality of discipline and all this, and then you don't have that? Like, how would that even work with one another? So, do you believe, like, it would people, like, instead of a big person and a fit person, do you believe they would be able to get along?
I think they can get along. And honestly, there are people out there that one, don't care, and two, are turned on by bigger people.
Okay.
So that's not going to make it go away.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Now, that said, when I was in the dating scene, and I'm not anymore, thankfully, if the angles got me. And on that first date, I saw that she was a hippo. I immediately stood up and left because, nah, fuck you for that. You're misrepresenting yourself. That's not fair to me. I don't want that. And that's a preference that I have. And it's okay to have a preference. You
Mm-hmm.
can hate me all you want for that, but that's a preference that I have. I don't want you to be a 400-pound whale because I don't want that.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me see. Let me get a Bean in here. What you got for me, Bean?
So like, how do like they even relate? Well, big bone is like, you're just like a little bit fat. Like you're not obese, like you're not like fucking 500 pounds, but like you have some pounds on you that you want to get rid of. And it's kind of easy, you just have to get motivated. But like if you're like obese, like fat as shit, well, it's going to be like, harder to get your like entire weight off. And you just look more just fat, like 600, 500 pounds. You just look way more fat. And you know it's like they're just kind of similar to each other, since they're kind of both fat, but like big bone is like more like a skinny way of saying someone's fat. I think obesity is like just kind of a slur to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's say hold on.
Shoot. All right. Where do we left off at? Dang. Yeah, I don't see. I'm trying to see how that correlates. So they had a lot of people tend to say that. I heard that since I've been younger. They say I'm just big bone. I don't know
Yeah.
who came up with that. How do they even? What do your bones got to deal with being obese? Never understood that. It can people be born big?
Yeah. I mean, they can be born big. I mean, depending on how they eat, but they can always just like kind of get. They can always just work themselves out. Just
Yeah.
like they can't just be lazy and stuff unless you're just gonna be fat forever.
Mm. So far the excuses I've heard was people will say uh I was our ancestors, right? They used to have, and I get it, right? That could be a genetic thing, or they'll say people have higher metabolisms than others, right? So
Yeah.
I think the case is that people keep comparing themselves to other people, and it's obvious if you would think that because you had a slower metabolism, I mean you should be slower when you uh stuff in your face, right? Because you not like the other person. So obviously this other person can eat a lot and still stay smaller or whatever. That don't mean that they're healthy, but they just know the weight it just comes back off because they move around much more. Their metabolism is more higher, which more that's a genetic type thing. So I just kind of view it as in like I don't understand like what's the excuse of saying that two people can do the same thing was obvious they have different
Slower
bodies.
metabolism is like well, you just got to be careful of what you're eating because you can get fat from it like really a lot. And higher metabolism is like if you eat a lot, you know it would just go down fast. It's kind of like you're not gonna really get grown. I have fast metabolism too. Like I
Hmm.
can't really get fat that much. Even if I eat like a whole pound of food, I'm not gonna get that fat.
Hmm.
Slow, like you know, they still have their cons and stuff. Like you're just gonna like stay the same. You're not gonna really like if you eat too. You gotta pretty much eat when you have fast metabolism because you you're just gonna get starving after that. And the slow one, you just gotta you gotta be careful of what you're eating when you have a slow metabolism because whatever you're eating can have high pounds, and you could just gain a lot of pounds. And you're just gonna look fat. It's gonna be like pretty much challenging to like have slower metabolism.
You ever notice that a lot of people have every excuse of why they can't lose weight until they get in the hospital, and then now they like, oh, I can lose weight now. Now they found every reason. Somehow they
Yeah.
found all the healthy foods, and all they found, then they start looking at their food. I always notice that. Or some people just don't care. They will know they'll go to the hospital. They say, hey, you keep eating these salts, you're eating these sugars and stuff, and they probably still go.
And yeah, that's what they do. They
Yeah,
just
it's
want to have
an addiction, food addictions.
food addiction
Sauce,
every day.
all the sugars.
I mean, to be honest, I kind of have addiction to food too, like sugar type food. And I can like kind of control myself from eating so much sugar just by at least eating some bit of greens. But like sometimes when I see sugar, I just like say, "Oh, I want to just get some of the sugar food instead of like the real actual food."
Mm.
But yeah, a lot of people do like want to just make. They just want to kind of eat bullshit, but they just want to say like, "Oh, I just can't control myself. I can't control myself from eating like bullshit." And they're just gonna end up one day in a hospital with like diabetes
Mm.
because they want to make their bad decisions. And mostly it's always like the obese like that does that, really.
So you stick to I'll stick to my coffee and one meal a day. And that's another thing though. I think society has taught us that we have to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that's not true at all. You just need enough to make it through the day.
Yeah,
And,
really
and
in reality you're just wasting food when you're just gonna eat both
mhm.
food, lunch, dinner, breakfast. That's just kind of wasting food in my opinion. And I mean, to be honest, you really need to find like how you want to eat. Like, you kind of gotta see what your body wants first. Just not like any bull because you're just gonna have really sickness chemicals in your body, and we don't want that. You
Mhm.
gotta find what you want to eat first to get through your day, or else you're just gonna end up, either sick or just having a really having cancer and stuff since food is processed mostly, especially fast food.
Yeah, somebody said the food in America is garbage. So even with that, now that we're aware of it, what do you think that we will manage how we eat these foods? So that's one thing. I always said that like I use the example as in like I know how much sugar is in a cake. I can eat one cake, but then manage the way what I eat for the rest of the day because I know it's so much sugar in one cake. Because you can have sugar, salts, and all that stuff. Those are supposed to be a certain amount you're supposed to take a day. You're not supposed to have too less or too much. It's really balanced when it comes to food and stuff. Like your vitamins, you can't have too much, you get poisoned. You have too less, you start going through issues yourself too. So it's management. It's literally management. So when we know the foods are have more fats and sugars in it, that means we should eat less of it. But I think the problem is, which is going to like number three, people don't know that a lot of times we are taught to be gluttonous. We eat till we full, we picky with it. We be saying, "Oh, I want to snack on this, and I got this appetite for that. I got the taste for like all that stuff is like signs of gluttony, and we want all these different sugars. So yeah, there's so much stuff we not aware of. And the only reason why I be talking about this topic because of the lack of awareness we have, and we just addicted to salts and sugars and don't
Yeah,
realize.
yeah, that's like because when you first try it, you just want to eat it and just keep eating you can until you get either bored of it. And when you get bored of it, you know you're just eating something bad. Like you know you ate something really bad. You're not supposed to eat it because you know sugar is not even like it's processed, man. Sugar is like not even natural unless like you know it's sugar cane, and maybe the sugar cane is not even natural itself because you know they also have like chemicals to it, like you know, and it's just a bunch of bull through sugars and stuff.
Brother,
But you could be so addicted to it. It's like drugs and weed. Like you're just getting addicted to drugs and stuff by even from a first or second, third taste of it. You just want to stop. Or you wanted like you want to go try something new, but you can't because you know
Alright,
you're
so I
just
don't know
hooked up
what's
into
your
that shit.
background. Your background kind of weird. You in the
And
speaker?
19.
the entire internet too
Sugar
kind of wants you to try
might
it.
be more beneficial than fruit, than natural sugar. Sugar is good for you, but the government wants to tell you that's not because sugar is literally the primary thing for brain function.
Sugar
And on the top of you.
sugar can cause like diabetes and shit. So I kind of don't know if that's good because I can tell like
Diabetes comes
it
from
can
not
cause health
eating enough.
problems.
Diabetes literally comes from not eating enough sugar. You can look it up. Go to my page and click on the video talking about sugar. Literally the same thing as fruit. And the second thing about obesity, it's not an option. We can't control it. It's genetic.
Obesity, you can kind of control it unless if you're just really lazy. You have to like kind of you know endure it. Unless like you know you're like really fat and really lazy, you can't do jack shit. Then you kind of have to go in a hospital and like get yourself a transplant, make yourself a little
And
bit more
all of that
fit.
is genetic.
It can't be
Like
Jackie though, bro. It
my
can't be.
grandma was fat, so nowadays I'm fat. I'm 200 pounds, no lean mass.
When the last time you worked out?
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
Right, so that makes sense then. So,
Yeah,
But have you
but
been
it's
working out
genetic.
like your entire life, like you know,
right.
years, or were you just
I
like you
don't
just stopped, like you got lazy?
I don't work out because I don't like to lift man-made things. Like, do you know how gay that is to like lift man-made bars in
I
order
mean,
to like
to
get
be honest,
fit?
it's not gay. You're lifting it.
You can
You're
still
gaining
do
strength.
calisthenics though. Like I do that a
You're
lot.
you're
You can
gaining
lift,
weight. I mean,
lift your
you're
own
losing
weight.
weight from that. Like
Literally,
it's not gay.
girls do not care about your muscles, bro. Like nobody cares, bro. Like
It's not
you
about
can be
muscles,
fat
bro.
and happy.
It's not about muscles at all. It's about your health and you know, staying fit. Because you don't want to get when you're fat and shit, you don't want to get very tired. Like when you're fat, you're always tired and stuff, and that kind of hurts you.
So what about calisthenics? That's nothing man-made about that either. You can use your own body weight. What about that?
It's also gay because why? Like you're doing it for the sake of other men.
No, you're doing
Like
it.
You're
You
doing
don't.
it for yourself. You're
You
helping
don't care
yourself
about
out.
your own health.
You gotta help your own self out. Like it's not all about showing your muscles and flexing to other people. It's all really about trying to stay in fit. Cause
literally, like
it's
I'm
mostly
two. Actually, no, I'm 200 pounds, no lean mass, and I got baddies in my DMs. It like
So
women do
you are
not
doing it for
care
the
about
girls.
your
All right.
weight,
So we
bro.
get it. You're doing it for the girls. All right. So let me get Miss Lady in real quick. What you got for me?
I think there is, you can't even relate big boned and obesity together. I'm a certified personal trainer, by the way. So, um, going off of, big boned. Oh, well, never mind then. All right. No one wants to hear the facts, or from a woman, I guess. I don't know. I tried.
It's a woman. Sorry, no. Go ahead. Keep going.
For example, like there's a lot of difference between different, genealogy as far as like, for example, like I'm big backed because I have a large rib cage. As far as that goes, I still like weigh 150. I also weighed 150 when I was pregnant, at a healthy weight. And so I think
Mhm.
weight doesn't matter unless it's like the form that one wants to achieve. And
Mhm.
so that's what I tell my clients. It's like, unless they're competing, and then that's a whole different can of worms. But um being big boned, it's like it just really does come down to a lot of like inherent traits from, like over ancestors and genealogy, all of that fun stuff. And so, like I said, I have a wide rib cage. My mom called me this, I have a Swedish swimmer back, essentially. And so, I really don't think that, obesity is a whole different can of worms as well as, if you're clinically unhealthy, then yes, that does risk, obesity. And I think there are a lot of standards in society too that, you know, I think a lot of people also go based off of how they look
Mhm.
rather than actual facts. Like, there are personal trainers out there that, don't fit the perfect ideology of like a very, petite woman or like a really fit man or something. But they are like healthy, they're knowledgeable, they know what
Mhm.
they're doing, they have no underlying issues. There's a
Right.
huge difference.
Yep. I always said the outside. I said the outside looks is usually for others, and then your internal is the health. So like, when you just focus on really like fitness, you're not really worried about the body. You're not worried about the shape. That's gonna come regardless. You're not worried about how
Yeah.
much weight you is and all that stuff. But it's about, your health. When it's about your health, you ain't really worried about bulking up and all that. I mean, you can add that to it, but I'm just saying like when you focus on the
Yeah.
health. So yeah.
Well, and the other thing is too, it's a very big mental game as well when it comes to it.
Yep.
I think a lot of people don't realize how much mentality goes into, going and working out, or if, the gym's not quite up your alley, like going on hikes and, being like active in general. Like people prefer swimming over, going and lifting weights. But
Mhm.
if you are not doing it in a healthy standard, because you can also get into that, I don't know if it's TikTok safe, but I'll say eating schmishmorders and all of that. And so there's a lot of standards that come with, losing weight or gaining weight. And for example, like I knew this girl that she was a D1 athlete. She was amazing, like just absolutely insane. But she also pushed herself to the brink of where she put herself in a very dangerous situation when it came to her eating, and it was very, very scary. And so, I mean, she was sitting there sweating, almost passed out, almost had a seizure because of the lack of food she was intaking. So
Mhm.
there has to be a really huge balance between your goals and doing it in a healthy way.
Yep. Yeah. Gotta not worry about others. You gotta stay consistent. That's so much stuff for real.
Yeah, no.
Actually,
And
you
I
gotta
think
make it a lifestyle. You gotta make it a lifestyle.
exactly. And so I guess no one wants to listen to me other than you, so I'm sorry. I scared them all away.
Nah. I think the other people was up here anyway. They had their mind made up. One was just wanting to play this sorrow story and saying you're doing it, so it's projecting because it made them uncomfortable.
And that's, yeah, people will do that, and it's unfortunate they can't have a
Yeah.
basic conversation, but that's okay. Um, you don't want that energy anyway, so
Right.
um, but yeah, no, what else is on here? Mm, Uh, I think people do like it depends on the situation, but I really do feel like people use it as a cop out, like to, like, oh, well, this is how it's been my whole life, so why would I change now? It's worked for me. It doesn't mean I have to change. I think that um, people are meant to change. Like human beings and
Hmm.
Yeah, people are meant to change. People are meant to grow. Like if you are stuck in one mindset, you're going to be miserable the rest of your life. If you don't listen, if you don't have that will to change, you are going to be miserable your entire life because you're not going to be able to hold a conversation, a relationship, anything. I mean, unless you find another one, but it's like, for the matter of fact, you have to keep in mind, like, you have to always be willing to change. Just like knowledge, you always have to be willing to learn more. Um, there's always opportunity in your life. And for example, my grandmother, one of my favorite things is that she ever said was, she looked at me and goes, I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And she's 85 years old, about to kick the can. And I thought it was one of the most inspirational things where it's like life is ever changing, especially with the society we're in. We don't know what's going to happen. And if people aren't willing to change, um, it's there's you might as well just give up right there. Because if you are not willing to learn and listen and be a part of society that is growing and changing every single day, then what's the point?
Do you
But
think people that make up excuses of why they can't change can really be in a successful relationship?
say that again, sorry.
Do you believe that people that use the excuse of why they can't change can really be in this non I mean in a successful relationship?
Um, it depends, I guess, on the partner themselves. You
Uh-huh.
know, when going into a relationship, you really do have to be open because another thing I always live by is you have to know your partner through every season. And sometimes those seasons are really rough. They're very different from how you would treat that season. And, if you go through like an ideology, oh, I'm not going to date someone and this isn't going to work out because you don't believe in my ideology. Obviously, you don't care enough about your partner to
Uh-huh.
have a sit down conversation and be like, well, why do you think this? Why is this the way?
Right, right, right.
And I personally think that communication is probably the biggest aspect. Communication and trust are the biggest aspects of a relationship. And so for me, it's, for example, like if I had a guy that was like, you know, oh, well, I'm not going to work out because it just doesn't suit me. Okay, cool, that's fine. But also, you have to respect my ideology of like, that's a really important aspect to me. Is like, I
Hmm.
mean, like, if you have different hobbies that still are exercising the body, absolutely, like go for it. But it's like I'm not going to force my partner to go to the gym, but as long as they're active in some sort of way and expressing their hobbies, absolutely, that's fine. But if you have someone that's like refusing to actually enjoy like things that you enjoy, and I would be really upset about that. Like, for example, it's like, oh, well, I really like, I'm a nerd. I like, going to musicals. I like Broadway. I like that stuff. And my partner's like, okay, well, let's get tickets. Even though if he was like, I don't necessarily care for musicals, but I'll hear you out. And for example, if he was like, well, I want to go do this out in the woods, like I want to go hunting. Okay, I'll give it a try. Let's try it. Um, and I think that's the biggest thing is trying to understand your partner and their hobbies and understand them, what makes them whole is going to make a much more successful relationship than anything.
Oh, okay, okay. Um,
I
do
mean,
you believe that like us as a whole, I guess to get to number three, do we really believe that us as a whole really understand what gluttony is?
gluttony can come in many forms.
Hmm.
That's the thing. Gluttony is like, oh, sorry, my kiddo is she's messing around. So she just dropped a plate on accident. Fine. But so for me, I've seen most gluttony, not even just like, when people think of gluttony, they think of food, correct?
Hmm.
And gluttony can be perceived in many ways. Money, status, power. It can be perceived as, um, especially in this dating age, there's a lot of
I
people
thought
that
money
like,
would
oh,
be like greed. Wouldn't that be like greed or something? And then power
um,
would be more like pride and prideful or something like that.
yeah, along those lines. But yeah, gluttony can also be perceived with more. That's how I think it's more, 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 right?
Right, right.
And so, and I mean, it's kind of I would consider it almost like a subheading of certain topics, just because it is insinuated and whatnot. But for gluttony, I don't know. I think gluttony can be perceived in many different ways and not just food or I think it is, especially like I was saying, like if we're getting into the seven deadly sins, but I do think gluttony in today's society is mostly based around money. I mean, you see it with McDonald's and too with food wise if you want to talk about food. But um for me gluttony can be it's almost like obsession essentially. And to me, gluttony is, I don't know, that one's kind of a tough one. But to
Hmm.
me, it's like I see it as a like obsession mostly, because it can
Mm.
come in many forms.
Okay. Now let me try to squeeze Chris in since she just came up. What you got for me, Chris?
Oh, yeah. Hey, how are you?
Not much.
Let's see. How do big bones and obesity even relate? Well, I mean, I think some people who are obese think that they're big boned. I don't know. That's kind of. I mean, but like there are some people who are actually like their bone density is their
That's what I
bone
was talking
density is
about.
like yeah, it's denser, right? Like they have like like
Yeah,
they're just sturdy.
I
What
was
they call like
talking about
sturdy.
my fucking big back is I have a wide rib cage and I'm like I'm just big backing over here. Still, I'm fit, but I'm like I got a big ass wide rib cage, so
Yeah, because there's some people like some people, men and women, are just like sturdier. You know what I mean? Like even if they're like they can weigh less, but they still look bigger.
hmm
Like but I digress. Yeah, I mean we do have control over losing weight. I mean if you can afford to lose weight, I mean I think people have to understand that losing weight is a commitment. It costs money to lose weight. You have to be able to afford. Healthier food options. You have to work out, outside of if you're really trying to like do drop a lot of weight. I mean, you really do have to work hard at it. Gyms and even maybe even trainers if you need that. As well. If you want to take GLP medications, those are expensive. So, but I will say I saw on the news the other day that said that obesity for the first time in the last 25 years has actually dropped because of those GLP-1s
oh wow.
that they offer. Yeah, so the obesity rate has actually gone down because of it. Let's see. Can people really be set in their ways? Yeah, people can be. I mean, it's hard to break habits. It's hard to make like changes for people. Like there's like I work in healthcare, but I work with more like the senior population, and hell, they're 80 years old. They're not changing their mind.
Can't
It
teach an old dog new tricks.
No, it is what it is. They believe what they believe, and you're not going to change their mind. It doesn't matter. Um, and gluttony, I mean, gluttony can be anything. To be honest with you, gluttony can be if you just don't have enough, right? So I think that I was kind of with missed on that. Like it could represent more than just food. It can be a lot of different things. And working on yourself means like whatever you feel like you want to obtain or what kind of lifestyle you want, what kind of living you want. I think you have to work towards that every day. Do I think people do work towards that every day? No, I don't.
Hmm. Do
Hmm.
you? So let me ask this, since you talked about the setting the ways thing. Um, I believe that term itself. I believe it enables people to not have no want to change or try to become better. That's why people say that And I get it. Sometimes we do it with our own parents or grandfather, whatever it is. Well, that's just them. That's how they is. And I realize in life that even though things might be hard to do, that don't mean it's impossible. I mean, I think some people just comfortable. They might be comfortable where they at, and people keep on putting up with them. But sometimes it may take, or they might go to the grave with it. But a lot of time, I think everybody have the option. Now I'm gonna go with the behavior thing because I with the first one to say you can work on your behavior and your weight. It's just both of them just very difficult to do,
Well,
but
you
you can do
understand, most people go to their graves with
it.
their shit. Like
Yeah.
most people don't change, and it is what it is because the way that they are is built off of their ideology, their ethos, how they're raised, their environment. Like some people are not given the tools to change. So I mean, there's so many factors when we talk about that. It's not easy for a lot of people to make change that are kind of set in those ways. And again, like I said, most people go to their grave set in those ways.
Yeah. But
So if
it's
it's easy,
not
we have
impossible either. It's not impossible either.
no, it's not. But we probably have a lot better people in this world if people were not set in their ways.
Agreed.
Say that part again.
I said we probably have a lot more like good people if people were not set in their ways.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's just that'd be wishful thinking. I think the reason why I don't want to. So the whole point of me saying that is like because I do believe it's just a cop out and it's enabling, right? To view it that way, I think because some people are gonna take it and run with it and use it as a reason more not to change when we can influence people or help them. But and that when we say stuff like that, like nah, look, that's just granddaddy this and that's that. They're gonna be even more stuck. But yes, I'm yeah. We know people gonna go to the grave with it, but I think at least try or address it or just don't deal with it. I think that's where boundaries and all that stuff comes
Yeah, I was
from.
gonna say I think most people who just don't want to deal with it, they just back off. And then some people are resigned to that though. Like a lot of people who like lose family members, lose friends, lose jobs, they still don't make them change. Like they're set in they're just set in their ways and they ain't gonna change.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier, where, a lot of people, um, because he kind of asked me the hypothetical of like relationships and everything, and I said it was a very like detrimental piece to a relationship, especially to your, if you're planning on being with another human being for the rest of your life, it's so important to learn their interests and hobbies and be able to engage with them, even though it's not exactly your cup of tea. It's so important to really kind of change your, like, oh, especially to like, I mean, I can dabble in like toxic masculinity and femininity for a little bit, but it's like at the end of the day, it's so important. Like, especially for this younger age, I feel like a lot of people are just like so stuck in their ways. It's such a young age too, where it's like you are not going to have a beneficial life unless you are like willing to hear other people out. It's so important.
Yeah. I believe we should kind of stray away from that term if we want people to be better. I don't think we should do that. Cause like wouldn't want to look at my child and say, hey, I believe they stuck in their ways. No, I'm gonna always put into them until they finally, you know, for the rest of their life. As long as I look at it, as long as we try, because I believe a lot of the time that's just like a more of a give up thing. And some people be like, it's just like when we tell our children, well, they're gonna do it anyway, so we just act like we just don't want to try after that. We like, all right, whatever. I'm not gonna put up with doing all this or whatever.
Mhm.
But I think I'm big on wording. That's the reason why I'm like that. I'm big on wording because I know how people take those words and
Hmm.
run with it. You run with it, use it as an excuse for why they. That's why I don't really mess with the horoscopes and all the other stuff because people take labels and become that label when you can become something else. It stuff take time. It's just literally building habits. You could literally be whatever you want and do whatever you want. You just got to put in the time and work.
Exactly.
Let me Christy, what you got for me?
So I had a surgery 20 years ago, gastric bypass. I've lived my life throughout everything. In May, I became paralyzed because I was B12 deficient. So I haven't worked in May, June, July, August, September, October, almost 7 months right now because I couldn't walk. These are things that people don't tell you. Obesity is a detriment because they actually, what's the word I want? They devise or say something is great, and yeah, so I suffered that. Yeah,
What do you mean by that? It says
I've,
you said say something that's great.
oh no, it's not great.
Oh.
I'm just saying it's something that I just experienced in the last 7 months.
And you
I
said
was
that after
paralyzed
being
from
like,
being,
obese?
I'm sorry.
From obesity caused that? Or,
Oh, okay. So when I had the surgery, I was 400 pounds.
okay, I get you. So that's what you was talking about. I get you. All right.
Yeah, and I reduced down to, I think my lowest at after was what, like 140.
Mm-hmm.
And then because we all gain back. I gained back like almost to 200, I think.
Mm.
And then I dropped 47 pounds in like 3 months because of a B12 deficiency.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still there right now. I just finally gained 138.
Mm.
It's it's a blind guess, right? Like it's do this, you're going to be so good. It's going to be so great. Whatever, whatever. No. Nope. I am on so many vitamins, so many deficiencies right now. It's ridiculous. I
Mm-hmm.
can't gain weight to save my life.
Mm-hmm. That's why I specified about losing weight on this one, though, because I do realize it can be issues of gaining weight, though. It can be a heavy
It
thing.
is.
But losing weight, I believe everybody has control of that one.
I was hospitalized at 130 pounds and absolutely no, I was paralyzed from my chest down because of a B12 deficiency.
Mm.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
No, I'm getting better. I can walk now. I can walk now.
Oh, awesome. That's amazing.
Nice.
Thank you. I can. I've been in PT for the past 5 months. But people choose what you do, please. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say
We get you.
that.
We get you.
But people, please choose and research everything that you do because I did not at the time. I was not advised of what would be the repercussions of my actions. 20 years ago, this happened, and it's just now coming in. Are you kidding me?
Mm. All right.
Y'all, just be careful with your GLP and what you do. Just be careful. That's all I want to say because
That's a testimony, though, man.
it is. It's not fun. I've been without work for 7 months. because I can't walk. I can now. I can now.
Someone asked, was the surgery the cause of your deficiency?
It was.
Hmm. And what caused the surgery?
100% was. I had a Roux-en-Y. That was a bypass of my colon, and just I was 400 pounds.
Right. So that caused that, which caused the surgery, which caused that. Okay, I get you. So
It did, yeah.
that's why you
And
said started off with
if you can
those.
imagine, even 20 years right now, I was 400 pounds, and right now I'm 130 pounds.
Uh-huh.
I'm sick. Like, it's a sickly amount of pounds. I'm
Uh-huh.
5'4", 130 pounds. I'm sick. I
How
can
wide
hold
are you?
water in my clavicles.
Oh God.
Yeah. All right, let me
Yeah.
dang. Wow. That's
How wide is that ass?
what?
What'd you say?
I don't know
How
what.
wide is that ass?
I
Ew.
got no.
What did you say?
That's so ick and so
How
ill,
wide?
but
He said, yeah,
no.
he literally
How
said, how wide is that
how
ass?
Yeah, I
how
got
big's your
no.
titties?
Oh, I got you.
If you're saying wide, WIDE, there's
Yeah.
no ass. WI
Ain't gotta worry about that no more.
WT,
He got
I
a wide.
got all the ass.
He got the wide. He got a wide block. He ain't gotta worry about that. All right, so let me get Amy in real quick. I think that story, yeah, we got to talk about that though. I think that's a wonderful testimony. You know, you can probably, save many people with that. Tell how important health is and how important and being aware and stuff like that. People really be thinking,
And that's the whole part. I was always told I was big boned. I was like, no, I'm just fat.
yeah,
Sorry, I'm sorry to say that, but I was always just fat. And okay, nope, not gonna lie. I am big boned. I have bigger things because I was big boned. Like when you lose weight, like your abdomen is extended because of your weight, your legs are extended because of your weight. Everything. Oh, Jesus Christ. I've never thought that I had to explain this to anybody, but if you are overweight, everything in your body extends themselves. So you're going to be a big back whether you lose weight or not. You're going to be a big back.
mm.
And I apologize for saying that. Like your
I think that's
body
the
is
main
going to
version.
be am I a mean girl? No.
No, you gotta stick your chest out. You ain't gotta worry about that. That can save people's lives, man. You gotta say what you gotta say. It ain't about that. But yeah, let me real quick. Let me get Amy in real quick. She haven't said anything. Then y'all can go back to open panel. We can talk about that.
I'm just, unfortunately, I don't have the big bone or obesity issue. For myself, I am 5'10", and I weigh 127 pounds, 135 on a bad month, but that's just me. My daughter, however, the little shrimp that she is 5'4" and weighs like 225, I want to say.
How old is she? If you don't mind my asking.
She's 33. And my son is 35, and he's tall and slim like I am. And she gets so upset with herself, and I'm like, her name's Courtney. I'm like, Court, you work harder than anybody else. I mean, her thighs are like solid muscle. And she got a booty, which I do not. I'm 55, so of course that's long gone.
And that's what
But
people
Some
don't
squats
understand.
on.
Everybody
but
has
I'm
a
like,
different body
she's
shape.
yeah, and these are my children. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I look at my entire family, and I'm like, yep, I have, you know, stick legs like my father does, and his mother had, and then you got Courtney, you know, my daughter, who has thicker legs, thicker thighs, you know, and she's always like, I'm so fat, I'm so fat. And I'm like, no, I'm not seeing it, you know. She's also big chested, which I am not, you know. And like I said, she's built totally differently from me, but I don't consider her fat, obese. And by the way, B12 is, I'm throwing my medical knowledge out there, is for red blood cells. So I'm not quite sure
And
where
it
that
is.
connection is.
I started with injections in my legs, and now I'm doing sublingual. So yeah.
But anyhow, that's where I'm at. You know, I don't ever look at somebody and go, oh my God, you're fat. You know, I take in the whole picture. Does that make sense? Am I being mean?
Absolutely. Kudos for you.
Do
I
we
mean,
do you believe we worried about the way people feel more than their health?
I'm sorry, and why are we going with white people? Is this going to turn into a racist thing? Because I don't want any part of it.
What?
It is not.
Where you get that from?
It is not.
Okay, what was your question?
What the hell? You ain't hear my question? You thought it was a racist question? What question?
I thought you said white women.
No, I ain't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know
She
you been in
didn't
the wrong
hear
panels.
it. That's why I reaffirmed. Nope,
You
it
know she
wasn't.
been in the wrong panels. I ain't saying close to
Oh
that.
no, I don't get into those panels. I can't. I'm like, oh yeah.
You got a tip
They're
now, like what
so
you say?
toxic.
But no, I was saying, do you believe that we prioritize feelings today more than health?
Oh, sorry, man. You kind of broke up there at the
My
end.
bad. I think
Yeah, you muted.
I'm putting my finger over this thing. That's what happened. But I'm about to say, do you believe we prioritize feelings over actual health nowadays?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, if you're gonna sit there on the couch and eat a bag of potato chips, that's on you. You know,
Yeah.
if you're trying
But let
to,
me say this. This the point of me saying. I was just saying because I was hearing you saying I don't want to be mean and I don't. And I
well,
think
no, I don't.
yeah. So I think a lot of the times by us not being mean is also causing harm to the person because we're not trying to say anything because because they can be going through. Might even go through the things that Chrissy went to because everybody's not saying nothing. They just sitting there like, she'll be all right, she that, and then they end up in a hospital. And it's like, dang, we care about how they feel so much more than trying to actually, figure a way to express to them that, hey, this what you're doing is it's not good. You can't do too much. Your cholesterol is pretty high. You lacking this. You got to focus on that. So it's like it seemed like we're focused on how people may take it more than what they actually need to do, which can save their life.
No, I agree. I mean, we're not all meant to sit here. I mean, honestly, like I said, I'm being 110% honest with you. I could go 2 days without eating. It doesn't bother me. That's the way I am.
Hmm.
My daughter has to eat 3 times a day. My mother, my son, my
Why do
that's,
they?
Lack of food actually can be very detrimental
I know
to
it can, but that's the way. Can I just do a real quick? I have GI issues. Let's just leave it at that.
okay.
So I
No, I was
don't.
about. I think I'm asking more. I had a question that. Why do you said your daughter have to eat 3 times a day? Why?
because she loves
Amy,
her food. Yes.
Amy, do you
Wow. Okay,
need
glad you, at least
something?
you said that because I'm about to say I don't think nobody have to eat 3 times a day.
No, she loves her. She loves her food.
Yeah. They go back
Three
to the
times
Okay.
a
addiction.
Amy,
day is
can I send you
normal.
something?
Oh, are you gonna tell me I need to eat every day because I don't?
No, no. Do not take that. Do not, please. I'm asking, can I help you in any way?
As far as what? I mean, I worked at the prison as an RN. I'm a registered nurse, and they used to stick hunger strikes magnets on my office. I'm like, will you guys knock it off? You're not even funny.
I am just going to speak from my own professional standing.
Okay.
I'm a certified personal trainer in with a nutrition certificate as well.
Okay.
So it's super important that we are fueling our bodies. Food is not our enemy, and I understand you have GI issues. Have you seen anyone about that? Or like got a
I
diagnosis and
I
everything?
I have, but there's no diagnosis.
Okay. So
So I have come to the point where I know what I love.
Watch out for them big girls.
What the hell was that?
a troll.
I knew something was coming. That's why I have my finger over the mute button.
I do love certain foods. They do not love me back. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things.
And also too, it's like I just speak, like I said, with the best heart, like my open heart with this, where it's like, it's also very detrimental to your stomach in the regards of like, sorry, my kid is going haywire. So it's really detrimental in the regard of like you need to make sure that your stomach, it's a really gross fact, can eat itself from the inside out if we're not feeling it properly. And
No.
so in that regard, it's just like, I'm sure you've had tests done on you to try to figure out what's going on with you and everything. And
Endo
you
and
know,
colon, and I'm like, okay, that was fun,
yeah.
but there's nothing. I mean, they can't come up with, oh, you need a gluten-free diet, you need this, you need that,
Yeah.
like
Well,
love
I mean,
pasta. Does not love me back.
it
But I'll
sounds
eat
like,
it anyway.
I mean, they didn't even like diagnose you
Why?
with
No.
IBS or anything?
Why are you so detriment on what she's ailed for compared to what she's diagnosed for? Because we can still help her with what she's ailed for, but not
Well,
diagnosed for.
I don't.
No.
I'm not asking for help. I'm not, because it's been.
No, ma'am, contact me personally. I will help you. Whatever. I don't care.
That one.
I just don't understand why they're justifying ask for and what's needed. There's no reason. Why was your... I'm gonna... No, nope.
What the heck? What just happened? I came back and everybody dropped. Hmm? I don't know what's going. Oh, Clash of Spirits. Can't keep women in the box by themselves for too long, huh?
Hey, can't blame the man this time. You see what I'm saying? I'm not talking about. I don't know what happened. I went to go grab me a salad. You know, we talk about eating healthy. Let me go eat my little salad I have. You feel me? I heard one of them like, how would you question this and do that? You know, my bad. You ain't had no authority in this room like that. That's what happens. Sometimes you gotta bring that patriarchal. Sorry, let me stop. Ow. How y'all feeling, man? We gotta dig deeper to this, man. We gotta reconstruct some minds. We gotta talk about discipline. We gotta stop, this thing with we enable. We gotta realize we enabling a lot of people, and it's been like that since I've been young. You know, we rather say big bone and all this stuff. Even the thing we was talking about, the people set in their ways. Like, we gotta stop that. Like, people really taking that in and using it as a reason to not become better. And everybody in this world has the ability to become better or grow. You know, but saying sayings like that and big bone and it ain't that bad, no, it gives them no motivation to do any type of change. And it's a way that you just have to word it. I get it. It's a way that you word it, but we can't just not say nothing and act like things are not an issue, because that's called enabling or coddling or whatever you want to. Not coddling, but it's enabling. So, you know, it's different ways. And like, if people want to live longer, we only got this one life. I get it. But at least we want to go out trying and focusing on it. It's not all about being happy all the time. Shoot. People want to be rich so bad, but they don't understand, like, you're going to be able to be healthy enough to even experience the riches. You know the term where they say health is wealth? It's real. Health is wealth, for real. That don't scare me. I looked away. I seen Mr. P in the building.
How you doing, Kev?
I'm good. How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Just sitting over here being big boned.
Wow, okay. Big mom. Not bad. I didn't know my bosses was filled up like that.
Hey, man, you,
Hey, what we talking about? What we talking about? Let's get into it.
Oh, shit.
Come on. Y'all ready or no?
What?
Are we finna talk about it or no?
Talk about what? You just come in here, kick the door open, demand we talk then.
Yeah, let's get into it. What's the vibe? Are we talking about the prompt? What we doing? We talking about something else?
There ain't nobody stopping you from talking about what you want to talk about. Talk already.
Hey. It's just a question. We don't need all that.
Well, you came in demanding, so I'm going to make some demands back.
I came here asking questions. I was asking a question. That's called an interrogative statement. Okay.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, you came in kicking the door open saying, why ain't you doing what you're supposed to be doing?
How are you so angry the day after Halloween?
You're the one coming in all high strung.
I'm happy.
I was in the middle of a damn sentence and you didn't even pay attention to that.
I'm not gonna argue with you. You mad?
Oh, yeah, because you come in all disrespectful.
Why are you mad?
And first off, I ain't mad. I'm irritated. There's a difference.
Why are you irritated?
Because when people bust in and don't even fucking pay attention to what's going on and they interrupt people, I find that rather irritating.
It's not that
because that's an irritating
Mr. P,
behavior.
if you don't take care of that, man, you don't need to be going back and forth.
It's TikTok Live, baby boy. It is not that deep. It's really not.
If you're in the middle of a sentence and I bust into your bedroom and cut you off asking you what the fuck you're doing, you ain't going to be irritated. You're going to be like, oh, he's just trying to have a nice conversation.
Mister, how you going to correlate?
You forget all that. You ain't about to do all that, man. Mr. P, you're not about to get your blood pressure high in front of me. Not right now. I ain't seen you all this time. You ain't about to be going back and forth with that girl. Hold up. Let me get something. I got you. I got you right now, okay? I'm about to make it official. Hold up. Make it official now. I want to request back up. But yeah, what you were saying though, and then what's up, pretty? Welcome.
Hey, how's everybody doing on this beautiful Saturday night?
I'm good. I'm blessed.
I'm doing wonderful. I'm about to cook some dinner here in a little bit.
Hmm.
I just wanted to swing by, say hello, because I can already tell this is going to be a fun topic for you tonight.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm getting ready to go out on the town. I'm just waiting for my hubby to finish up in the bathroom so
There
I
you
can
go.
get in there.
There you go.
Um,
Have fun and be safe out there.
You going
yes.
anywhere special?
Yes, we're going downtown Tampa. We live in Florida, so we have like an hour drive. We live out in the boonies. So, I'm just getting ready, we go out once a week. And so, this is our time for ourselves. We're both retired and all of our children are grown. So, yeah, but I'm a retired personal trainer, so this hits home for me. Um, I, there is a difference between being big boned and obesity. When you got 65.6% of BLK women overweight, that's a problem in America. And I think that, if we're more honest with ourselves and tell your girlfriend, you've got 3 rows down your dress in the back and stop telling her she looks good, maybe we can change change some stuff, instead of lying to each other and telling each other we look good when we really don't. So, it is a huge problem. I mean, I have a best friend. We've been friends for 30 something years. I wouldn't trade her for any friend in this world. And if something is wrong with her, I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna be honest. Hey, this, and that. And same thing goes for me with her. And so I think, when you have good, great friends and you have friends that's going to be honest with you, I think that makes a difference. And losing weight and behaviors and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's not just about how you look. It's about how healthy are you on the inside. And I think, there's a lot of medical things going on with people as a whole, that we're not taking a step back and looking at, the healthiness inside of our bodies. I mean, when you've got women, like for instance, when I was training people, I had women telling me, they didn't do number 2 in like a week. I'm like, what's going on? So, I mean, there's a lot of things going on, and I understand people have problems, but, you got to take a step back and take care of your health at the end of the day. Are you going to wait till you go to the doctor for him to tell you, you need to lose 40 pounds? No, look in the mirror and look at your pants. Your pants is tight. You got your belly hanging over. I mean, you can just look in the mirror and tell that you need to change some stuff. And so I just think, we need to be honest with ourselves and honest with each other as women, as BLK women, and stop the bull crap.
There you go.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm in my 50s now, and I still fit in my wedding dress. I still fit in my size 0s and 1s, and I'm going to stay that way. I don't care about a BBL or none of that mess.
There you go.
I'm going to look good. I don't have no body work done. I never got a tummy tuck, mommy makeovers, or none of that bull crap. I've stayed in the gym for years, and that's how I look the way I look. And I'll tell women all the time, just work out, even if you walk, you're improving your health. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I have.
No excuse. As long as you got a ground, like a house or whatever, all you need is a ground. You can do calisthenics.
Right. And guys, I do workouts every morning at 5 a.m. on TikTok on my page. So send them women to my page.
Right. Get them together.
So that's all I got to say. But yeah, this going to be a good topic tonight. Y'all keep y'all blood pressure down because they coming.
Oh, yeah. I'm all right. I'm prepared for it, man. Because I realize it's just a lot of reconstruction we need. Because like that thing where they act like we got to eat 3 times a day and all this other stuff, like that stuff, that's not true at all. Like, we got to realize how gluttony is. We don't realize that because we just eat till we full. It ain't supposed to be like that, and we think that's normal. Like, there's so much stuff we got to learn.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
just
3 meals a day, you don't need that. Like I teach people all the time, make you a big bowl of salad. Leave the cheese and the bread alone. Make
Yep.
you a big bowl of salad. Put you some avocado in there, some garbanzo beans, some onions, some olives, some artichokes, and that'll make you full for sure. And
Hmm.
so, you don't need all that other stuff. And then put the rest to the side once you feel satisfied. And then eat on it later when you're hungry again. I mean, and you will not gain any weight and you will lose.
Right.
You will
Yep.
lose weight, period. So,
I just want to say that, if we're gonna get into the specifics here, the phrase "big boned" is just a line of bullshit and it's not just my opinion. There's been tons and tons of research and study done on skeletons, and the average skeleton for an average male is about 44 pounds. Okay, that's for a large skeleton, and
oh wow.
typically the area that you see where you're going to see the most difference in skeletal structure is going to be shoulder width, wrist circumference, and let me see, what was the other one? And elbow breadth. So like the distance between your elbows. So most of the time our skeletons, our bones, only make up about 15% of your body. Or if you weigh 300 pounds, most of the time your skeleton only makes up 15% of a 300-pound body. Okay, so that's why it's kind of like the same topic you had a long time ago, Kev, about the thyroid claim.
Yep.
I'm not obese. I have a thyroid issue. And then when we looked into it, we found out that of all of the people that claim they have a thyroid issue, only 5% of them actually have a thyroid issue.
Right.
That the other 95% are just using that as a reason to not work out. Well, I have a thyroid issue, so it doesn't matter. I'm just big boned, so I can't lose weight on my bones. And it's like whenever I hear that, I always tell them, well, I ain't never seen a fat skeleton. Okay, I ain't seen a normal skeleton for a normal 180-pound man stacked next to a skeleton that's double the size for a 300-pound man. That don't exist, and like Pretty was talking, what she described about being honest, I think that is something that is hard to apply, because there's a certain amount of honesty that's going to hurt feelings, and we don't want to hurt feelings, and we have to get over that. I'm someone that I prefer my spouse or my friends or anybody I'm have a relationship with to be honest with me. If I'm slacking, I want someone to point it out. I don't want to be reassured and be given an excuse to not better myself. So I just wanted to ask Pretty, because I heard you mention something about being big boned. Do you agree or disagree with the idea that saying big boned is just a cop out and an excuse so they don't have to get, like you said, work out every morning?
Yeah, I mean that's usually the excuse. Oh, my mama was big bone, so I'm gonna be naturally big bone. You can change your body structure. It just takes more work, right?
Yes.
So, and I learned that through my master trainer when I was in school. I had a master trainer teaching me a lot of stuff that they don't teach you in school. And one of the things he said, yeah, you can get small as you want, but you have to work. You have to do a lot of work. So if you come from a big bone family, yeah, you can get smaller. It's just that you have to do more work than the average person. And people just don't want to put that work in. So, but yeah, it's pretty much a cop out. I mean, I don't like when women settle for whatever the hand that they've been dealt with, I think that you should overachieve and work at what you want, just like anything else in life. You have to work at this, work at that, work at getting a better job, a better pay raise. Just like that, you have to work at your body and your health and take control of your life. And so, yeah, it's pretty much a cop out though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, because when you find out that the average large frame skeleton, according to all these different studies, the Framingham Heart Study, the N. Haynes study by the CDC, a bunch of other studies, they say that at most, 99.9% of the time, the largest skeleton is going to weigh 20 pounds. So, you know, when someone like I'm a large guy. I'm 6'1", 240 pounds. I work out. I could lose some weight, sure, but I wouldn't classify myself as unhealthy. Well, I'm just reading these numbers right now. Finding out at most my skeleton weighs 20 pounds, that's kind of like changing the way I'm even looking at this whole thing. Like, that means that there is a lot more fat sitting in my body. Now, some of it's going to be healthy fat, some of it's going to be collagen, some of it's going to be tendons and things of that nature. But my skeleton at 6'1" is only going to make up maybe 20 pounds. That's fucking crazy to me. That, you know, I didn't even realize how little of a number that is.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean, that blows my mind.
Yeah, I think like I said, that's why I'm big on try to watch how we talk. Even though we watch how we talk, because it's so feelings based, but we don't. You ever realize that society itself is just they really don't care. Like that makes them money and stuff. People don't know why they going to the hospital constantly and all this stuff. Like because everything based in pills and all that. Like they don't understand. Like reason the health is our health, right? It don't be because I was born with health issues and stuff. You can change that. I mean, you could. I mean, not. I mean, some stuff are genetic, but you can manage it and change it and make sure that you don't pass it along to your child or something like that. Like it's just really like lifestyle changes, man. For real, you just got to really have the willpower or develop it, make sacrifices, all that. You know.
Yo, Kev, you just made me think of something.
Hmm.
Your health can be your wealth, or it can be their wealth.
Hmm. That's
You know what
true.
I'm saying? You catch my drift on that?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, because you could pass stuff around if you, or if you got high blood pressure and stuff, you go get it to your children. But if you can
Well, it's
keep up
also
with it,
like if you're healthy, that's a certain type of wealth, right? But if
hmm
you're unhealthy, that becomes wealth for someone else, like your doctors, big pharma.
oh, I get you. Okay, all right, okay, that's what you
You
mean.
see what I mean? So it's like your health is going to either give you wealth, or your lack of health is going to make someone else wealthy.
Yeah, that's how the doctors make money. They came and say they because they know how humans work. That's why they're like, well, we gave them the thing to let them know how much they taking in and stuff. They just want to eat how they want to eat.
Yeah, and you know another thing too, guys, that I teach people about intermittent fasting. You know, eating in a smaller window and fasting the rest of the day, drinking lime water, which actually reduces your belly fat more than anything else. So, you know, it's just knowing what to do, and I think a lot of people are just uneducated.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. It's just they're just ignorant. They don't know what to do. They're listening to their gym rat friend
Right.
who's just going to bang themselves up against the weights. That's not teaching anybody anything,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So,
I did not want
Yeah,
to believe that the food do play the main part. I just wanted to just work out, like, but I couldn't get it because like people don't want to change the way they eat. They want to, and that's one of the biggest sacrifices you got to do.
but there's no reason to not know what to do other than your own laziness. You know, like for instance, Pretty, you do a live. It sounds like you work out in your live. You said come by every morning. That's a free resource that people could tap into, most likely, right?
free.
Yeah. So
They don't have to pay anything. I don't even tell nobody to give me no gifts. I'm just
so
like, I don't care about the gifts. You don't even have, tap the screen if you want, because my thing is going to grow. When people realize that they can come and work out at 5 o'clock, I work out 2 hours, 5 to 7 a.m. with people. If they realize, and then all the knowledge that I have, so I'm showing them how to do the squats properly, how to do different kind of squats to tone up your leg. Calisthenics is what I believe in. And so I'm teaching them all this stuff, and it's like, this is free information for you to, take into your own lives and use. And I've been doing it for 2 weeks only though. So I'm just starting out, but I know it's going to grow, and I'm hoping to, help a lot of women,
So my point is that you're doing this for free, and I have actually a lot of different people that do workouts that I follow and stuff because I work out, and I put them on because it helps motivate me through my workouts. So my point is that it's not only ignorance; it's willful ignorance.
Yeah.
And there's no excuses for someone to sit there in their house and twiddle their thumbs and say, I just don't know what to do. I don't know how to take the first step. But then they're going to go and doom scroll, and they're going to pass by your live. They're going to pass by 1,000 other lives of people who are giving out all this free information. They're going to go on YouTube, and guess what they're going to watch? They're going to watch the next fucking Cardi B video or whatever.
Right.
So they're not going to go to the fucking Bowflex page. I literally go to the Bowflex page on YouTube almost every other morning.
Exactly. I was just about
I have
to say
the
that.
Bowflex people walk me through dumbbell workouts. I know how to do it all, but I have them there running cadence for me.
And that's free. And that's also
And
free.
it's free.
That's why I say I have no sympathy for this new day and age, because back then we didn't have internet. Now you can look up anything. You can find out how to even how I changed my mindset. It was the internet. I was listening to this audio book on the internet called Atomic Habits. That thing made a big impact in my life. I'm like, man, I didn't know that you could really reconstruct your mind like that. And I just start, but like you said, everybody wanted to listen to the Cardi B's and all this other stuff that's not relevant. They listen, they want all the drama and stuff, but they got every excuse why they can't take it.
They don't even realize Cardi B, she may have a BBL, but Cardi B be in the gym. Cardi B work out. By the time they looking at her, she done came out the gym already. She already been to the gym for the day. You know what I'm saying? So these women that's getting these BBLs, these celebrities, trust me when I tell you, Kim Kardashian and them, they in the gym.
They're getting a BBL because they work out and they need the false enhancement because their body don't carry that weight naturally. That's why they need to get it. And to even further it, Cardi B has enough money. She's probably got someone showing up at her house saying, "Get your butt in the gym." Like that's another aspect. Like they have people that remind them, and then they have people that curate their meals. But even with that level of status, they have people solving the problems for them. There's still no excuse if you don't have the money for all those personal steps where you can pay to have someone behind you pushing you. You need to push you.
Yep.
It's like that phrase I've said 1,000,000 times in your life, man. We get to choose 2 types of pain. The pain that comes with discipline, or the pain that follows regret. We get to choose those.
That's what I had to do with myself. I'm like, man, because if we wait on doing something when we feel like it, we'll never get nowhere. Though. That's why you got to bypass your feelings and do it when you don't feel like it and make it more. So that's why I make a schedule now. Like I'll make sure like on Saturdays and Wednesdays, those are the days I straight put to the side to work out. So I at least try to go do it twice a week. Or whatever, and just keep consistent with it. Because it's hard, like, if you don't have it scheduled, and then you like, all right, today I do it the other day. And then that stuff end up turning into days, then weeks, then next minute, it's been years before you even thought about working out again. You got to want to do it, man. Have purpose behind it.
Yeah, I'm a little cryptic with myself. My alarm clock goes off, and I want to hit snooze, and then I say, am I going to be a bitch and hit snooze, or am I going to get up? And I'm like, man, I ain't no bitch, and then I crawl out of bed all grumpy. but I get up.
All right.
But hey, I gotta drop down. I gotta go get dinner cooked. It's getting late.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to give you some love for a minute because I ain't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty, I'm gonna give you a follow. Maybe I can watch you and you can motivate me through a workout one of these mornings.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and give me a drop, my guy.
I would love to have you. I gotta get ready to go, guys, and get myself ready. But listen, it was a pleasure talking to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And stay focused, and stay on your workout regimen.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
Okay, bless you guys. Bye.
All right.
Bye. Give me a drop, my guy.
Go ahead, talk real quick. I got you real quick. Just go ahead.
All right, everybody tap the screen, share the live. Hashtag Mr. P is always.
There we go. Mm-hmm. There you go. Right there in the middle of that. There you go. It's like how he like it. That's the dopamine effect for the day. Oh, man. It's kind of slow today. People out there drinking tonight. They drinking and stuff tonight. So I know we gonna get some drunkies up in here. We already got a couple of them already. Gotta have that. See, they never had no time. They never had time to work out, but they got time to go out in the weekend. They like, what, I supposed to not have a life? Is that the only form of life? You ain't. Shoot. How about your health, man? That's what keeping you alive. You ain't gonna be able to have a life when you ain't paying attention to your life. You just worried about having fun. That's all you worried about. But I do really want to focus on like all these things got to be talked about. That gluttony, I don't know. Like I ain't gonna lie, I disagree with what the chicks was saying earlier about gluttony can be more. I think gluttony is like more food focused. It's like they be saying about lust. Like lust, they be like, you can lust at many different things, but I think lust is primarily like sexual. Got something to do with maybe it's sexual. So yeah, gluttony, from what I looked up and learned, is more of food, a greed towards food, excessive eating. And I think we do really need to focus on that and understand that this is something, and I think almost all of us do it. I don't think I ever stop getting out of it. I don't watch really, but that's why I had to be aware of like my intake a day, because I know I eat till I'm full. A lot of the times, especially if when I'm off work or during the weekend, I'll be eating so full, and I ain't gonna lie, I feel bad now that I'll be aware of it. But we gotta like really focus. Like our minds is what's telling us that we are hungry and stuff, and if we readjust it, a lot of times we can go some time without it. Fasting is a very big thing. I haven't. In a way, I just eat very light. I don't fully fast, but I eat light. I think, we good enough to be able to survive with water for even a couple days, but hey, take a day to yourself. Let your body know that you have control over your body, instead of telling every time it feel like, oh, I'm hungry, my stomach growling, I got to do this. We tell ourselves like, I'm hangry and all this other stuff. Like, these are all mental things, stuff like that. And it's just the way we view life, and we just prioritize, and we so gluttonous for food and addicted to food. We are telling ourselves that. It's just like when people say that they need a cigarette and they need all coffee and all that stuff. Like, these are things we reconstructed our mind to. And I think that also comes with like this Americanized way of thinking. Also, I can't see people overseas saying that when they barely can get a meal or have coffee and all that stuff. I don't believe that they have to wake up and get coffee just to start their day. They just happy that they're getting up, eating their fly sandwiches and stuff. So it's the way that we're so privileged in America that we just always had these new things because the world has told us that you need these things. Of course, they're gonna tell you anything to get money out of you. you know, you need an energy drink. You need this, all this stuff or whatever. Like that stuff is, you don't need all these things. You just might need more sleep and time management and all that. So one of the ladies advocated for stomach issues, but did mention being a smoker, uh, best to be sick. But didn't mention being a smoker, best to be. Oh, she was a smoker? That's what she didn't even want to mention it. Yeah. I know, you know, a lot of stuff. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's why I say it's so many things. Like the addictions are in so many things. Like I think the biggest one we know now that's just so undercover is this sugar and salt addictions. You know, we have that. Even though they say it's healthy for you, but too much of everything can be an issue, and you know, too less also. So it is like you have to manage those. Like even cholesterol. I used to thought you didn't have to, but cholesterol need to be balanced also. So that's what actually make our blood thick and you know not watery and all that stuff. I mean, it's so many things that we just can't go out. Salt is needed, you know, that help produce. They say that help produce stomach acids and all the other stuff or whatever. So you can't be saltless either, you know. But then again, it's like kind of hard to avoid those things also, salts and sugars, because they was make the flavor in foods and fruits and vegetables. So it's always going to be in there. It's just different type of forms of them. But yeah, that's what that is. But yeah, I think, like I said, a lot of times, and when we get some more in here, that um, setting your ways thing, that's one of the biggest things. We gotta stop, you know, living with stuff like that. Good looks. We gotta stop living with that because a lot of times that's giving more of a reason why nobody should make changes within themselves. We rather just say this is how I am, or you know, or how older folks we start telling our fathers, our mothers, well, that's just old man Jenkins and all the other stuff. Like, oh man, old man Jenkins need to change himself. Anybody keep being like that and run away with that. You know, we can't keep enabling people. That's one thing. Like, if people trying to be this way, we have the option. Like that's one thing I had to learn as I got older. It's like you got to make boundaries. You got to do this to keep yourself sane. Because if you keep worrying about other people, you just never will get anywhere. You be so focused on how people think of you and worried about you letting your family down and all that stuff. If your family wanted to find a reason to be let down, let it be. It is what it is. Like if they not real family, if that's the case anyways. Like that, I get what they say, the saying of blood is thicker than water and all this other stuff, but again, that don't mean that somebody's entitled to anything. You know, that just don't mean that. You know, you might be my whoever, father, mother, brother, sister. That does not mean, or you're not entitled to me taking care of you when you're not even trying to take care of yourself. So a lot of times that be the thing, and we just got to. We gotta that, and then go back to like literally that topic I had before with the boundaries things. We gotta set them to for our own peace. Because at the end of the day, we can worry about other people for the rest of our life that ain't really trying to help or set something for the future, and we hit the grave. You know, we stressing ourselves out. I at least want the stress to be worth something that I can believe that it can make some type of positive change or something. At least go out trying. You know, just it's no different from like when you have a child. You know, you're gonna a lot of some parents, but some of them give up also because whatever. Some give up for all type of different things though. But um when you have this thing where they're gonna do it anyways, and that's like, dang, nah. And I can get it. Like I've been going through stuff like that with my own family stuff too. I'd be like, but you got to realize who the ones that really trying to help themselves and who's not, who's actually searching for it. You know, but you also don't want to go down trying to help somebody too and lose yourself. You know, because some people is just so miserable and going through so much, they want to bring you with them. You know, and Yeah, you don't have to go through all that. You sometimes you just got to start something new and try to invest in. That's why parents is just get held so heavy nowadays. We got to because like even though they be saying that they be their own business, but then if you raising little gremlins and stuff, like sure, one of my people is gonna run into one of your gremlins, or I might run into them, and then they gonna probably we don't know what they gonna do because of whatever you lack of parenting you did with them. You know, that's gonna become an issue to this world. That's just how that is. Though. That's the reason why gonna always hear topics about parenting and stuff and different little things, and just like Rachel, my baby Rachel, just had a live about why you calling your kid big. It took me a minute to think about it. I was like, oh wow, that is true. Like you the one feeding them, making them big, and then you want to call them big. You the reason why they get into you because you're not watching how they eat. But like I said, if a parent don't care about their own health, they're not gonna be able to care about the health of their kids. They just worrying about if they have because they prioritize happiness over everything. And you ever realize that happiness, this thing with happiness has dug us deep in the hole more than anything. At least dug us in deeper in the hole more than anything. Like people gonna realize it's not about happiness. It's about doing right. It's about being right, and it's so bad that happiness prioritized so much that they like it ain't no such thing as right or wrong. They just say, "Oh, that's subjective." That's just they rather do that because it gets in the way of their happiness. Happiness will cause destruction if people don't really realize. So even greed make people happy, and lust and make people. It's so many different forms of happiness, and people is really them taking a little. Uh, Smoking and all that stuff is still like dealing with happiness, and it's all about managing your happiness, which I was gonna do a topic on boredom management. I want to talk about that also. He said those parents don't want to be blamed for the things they didn't change for the outcome of their kids. Of course, and then you got the parents that always want to play the sorrow. I should have done this and all that. Like, no, you could do it now, or maybe it wasn't meant for you to do it at that time. You can only do what you can, but also don't use that as to take away the accountability that you have, because that means you. It's it's just you shouldn't. The thing is, don't act like that you put your all into it either. You only put in what you knew, or some of them be more self-centered more than anything. And a parent know if they really tried or not. I don't think if you a parent and know you tried your hardest, there's nothing to be disappointed in. Because like dealing with another human being can be your child, but they still their own human being. It is a gamble. You don't know what's gonna get a hold of them. What different mindsets. You could try your best, and they can still watch something that influence them more than you ever did. Type situation. So. I don't think you got to take it hard. You only take it hard when you don't feel like you tried your best, and that's how I view that. That's what I believe. Like, oh, I did this and I did that, and I'm just horrible. Like, how you horrible? You did what you can. You did what you can with what you had. Like, nobody's perfect. He said, "Kev, they started too late and allow habits to set in." But the thing is, it's. I would say, well. Oh yeah, well, you talking about with that, yeah, most definitely. But I don't believe in. I don't. I think everything happened for a reason, and it's a purpose behind it. Nobody was supposed to be meant to be brought up a certain way. Certain things is introducing people's life at the right time when it's supposed to be. I don't think it's ever. Um, and then it's another thing is it's never too late to change either. As long as you live, and you always have the option to become better, to grow, so it could sometimes you could put in, if you stay focused on and building habits on certain things, you can you could just continue, doing it. If you, as long as you're really serious about it and focusing on it, you can change your habits, and probably can take maybe up to 3 months. If you focus on, all right, I'm gonna hold my tongue from cussing somebody out, and instead of making excuses about it, just focus on, okay, all right, I messed up, I slipped up. Let me try even harder to make sure I don't do it again. I think if people keep really focusing on it, you can really build good habits. You know, you can build habits or habits that's going to help improve your life. You know, but as long as we make excuses and say I did this because of that, and I did, and I had no choice, and all that stuff, like we would never become better. You know, we just wouldn't overall. Uh, uh, man, working on yourself. I wanted to get to that too, though. Like everybody say that they working on themselves, and I be wondering like what part are they is they working on themselves on? Like how you working on yourself, and then or I'm a work in progress. And then at the same time, it's like you seem about as childish as like what part are you working on? Like what you working on your external? Uh, or you working on trying to sound a certain I be trying to wonder like when people say they working on themselves and it just be crazy like yeah, because I think, yeah, I want to see everybody's own meaning of that. They be saying, well, it's per person. I want to personally know what working on themselves, and then like what is the process they doing to really work on these things, and how consistent they stay on it. How serious is they taking it? You know, how much do they drift away from it, and you know, just the mindset of behind these things. I'm just wondering, you know, when it comes to working on yourself. Because, like, I'm like, if you're working on yourself and you say that you want this certain thing, are you really preparing yourself for this certain thing? Yes, it means so many. That's the reason why I want to like dig in people's mindset of what they view as and working on themselves. You know, and then is it working? Is it really working? You know, I've been hearing people saying they're working on themselves, and it's been the same. It's been 15 years, and they've been working on the same thing. It's like, nah, you can't. There's no way you putting in work, and it's you still the same person. That makes no sense. Did you try a different route? Did you like? There's so many different things. I'm just wondering. But a lot of times, some people, when people basically get put up with, they find no reason to have to work on themselves seriously. You know, like I said, I think it's a soundbite more than anything. Basically, I know it's a soundbite. It's most definitely a soundbite when you the exact same person and and nothing. You have no proof of that you changed from before. You know, I say one less cuss word this time. Oh my, that's so much work. It took you 3 years to say one less cuss word. That's funny. People is so funny. People is so freaking funny. He said humans should consistently be growing. Yeah. So that's one thing I had learned a while ago is that change is gonna happen regardless. So everybody gonna change. You could either change for the better or the worse. But what they say, what's the word? But progression. Now that's different though. Everybody not promised to. It's something that they should do, but just people don't. You know and that's how especially America got us. You know that's how they grab us. You know they guilt you into certain things. They tell you if you worth something or worth less or worth more. If you don't do this, then you can't keep up with that. And you know, it's the mind games, especially because everybody kind of grow up for looking for validation and trying to find more about themselves or what they should become or what they should be. So I could get it, and then people will be fighting for this idea. That's one big thing I learned about that Atomic Habit book. Is like that's what stood out to me that helped me change. It was like people, and it made so much sense. It's like you can literally change your identity. You could become whatever you want to become, and then it was like what happens is people will label themselves, and then they stick to this label, and they start becoming that label, and then they would do anything to fight against somebody else to prove that they are this label that they call themselves. And then I'm like, And then I was like, oh, that make a lot of sense, you know. Oh, okay, I'm black. And then you go with this is black and that black, you know, all this other stuff, and it's just. So at my age, I caught up with high school classmates. Not much has changed in the mentality. Dang, that's sad. That's kind of sad right there, though. But that's what happened when you get put up with all your life. And then the thing is that don't when people will rather, and I have people I know of that's close by, that's like family, that's just been like that. That's super old, like not super old, but that's just up in age and been the exact same way, still childish, had this mentality and feel like, and still don't see nothing that's wrong. Because the thing is that we like to do this thing like lie to ourselves. We tell them, and then we act like this is really our world, and we can't see outside of it. You know, we look at it like, well, if things happen to me, I have the right to do that. But it's like I think people just literally lack what empathy really is, and actually understanding something outside of themselves. You know, shoot, selfishness is the biggest reason why people can't change, and a lack of humbleness, humility, shoot, pride is what's keeping people to stuck. They feel like they gotta fight for this, and they feel less than if somebody's trying to check them or call them out for this or something like that. That's the issue right there. You know, that's why people can't really grow. They can't grow. That pride is a. That's why I talk against it so much. You know, pride, the entitlement mentality, and you know anything that's doing that, it be hurting us more than anything. Once again, like I talk against the horoscopes and stuff. Like I'm big on trying to stay away from labels. That's why I used to be like, oh, I'm a motivator. But I realize I'm more than just all these things. If I did have to stick to one title, I'd be like, well, I'm a child of God. I'd rather stick with that, and I believe that can be multiple things and multiple ways to express it. I believe that's a good label to stick with. That way, it give you more motivation. So, what can I do to be more righteous and more um more like God, you know, stuff like that. I'd rather, if I had to pick a label, sure, I'm a progressor. I'm a grower. I don't know. I couldn't think of that one. None on that one though. But and I think even with the first prompt, right? The reason why I said this one is because like I had to realize that a while ago the two things we have control of, you know, is losing weight. I used to say your weight, but then I'll be like, I gotta say losing weight because I realize some people it's hard to gain weight. But losing weight, I think that anybody can, well, I know everybody can do that, you know, because that's just gonna happen. Your body burns. It just burns regardless. It's just, you know, it's always gonna burn because your organs have to function. When your organs function and all these things moving around in your body is just that take energy which burns. It's gonna burn fats and all the stuff that's in you, and it's gonna use the vitamins you have in your body. All that stuff is needed. So, you know, that's why I ask people, like, you know, even though these things are difficult, even your attitudes and behaviors, that's one of the hardest things to try to change, but it can happen. I don't know why people make it seem like that just because something difficult, that means that it's not possible. Nobody never said that things are not difficult. It's just you got to put in extra work. If your metabolism is slow and you have thyroids and all this other stuff, that means you have to make adjustments in your life. That's not a reason to sit there and stand still. You have to make adjustments. Like a lot of times, like I said, some people have to go through the worst to start making adjustments. You know, stop making those excuses about why they can't lose weight or change this or why they addicted to that. Like people's lives got to literally be on the line for them to realize. And then why have to wait that late? You know, it's just like when we hear that certain things causes this, and you know, certain things. Hold up. We hear certain things that may cause certain things and stuff or whatever, but we like, oh well, it feel good right now, but then a lot of that times that stuff catch up to you later. You know, you go from feeling good, then made a habit out of it. Now you got to go through this. You got to go get your your kidneys, you know, diabetes. You got all these other things that you got now because you just was living in there trying to feel good and you know and doing what you want and being happy and and pleasures. You know, that's all it was. But you know, they usually a lot of times people pay later. It's like why not prepare yourself? Why not go in life trying your best? You know, at least having some type of effort. I would say you gotta should have an effort. And then, cause like our life, we only if we even get to 70 years old, that's like a blessing. It's like so.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. But I think when it comes down to like people weight and stuff, sometimes it's genetics. Like I had four sisters, it's four of us, and we all grew up eating the same foods. And some of us is just bigger than others. But we all ate the same way. Our parents fed us the same way. So I think that some of it, some people, just because somebody appear to be slimmer doesn't mean that they're healthy as well.
That's true. That's true.
So that's my only point, especially when it comes down to Black women. Like we naturally just grow bigger breasts, bigger hips, and thicker thighs. So it's like some of us even start developing when we're teenagers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody gonna have something that's gonna. Yeah, I get you on that. Like, and that sound like more of like metabolism and all that stuff, though. But even with that, when you said that y'all all eat the same, but all of y'all don't burn weight the same, though. That's basically what that is. That mean one have to the people that can burn weight. That mean that can burn weight easily. That mean you have to manage how much you intake because that can make a big change. You can't compare yourself to it. It's like some people can't eat chicken or some people might be allergic to certain things. So everybody body do work differently, but I still don't believe that's an excuse to say, you know, well they do this and I so y'all two different people. So that mean y'all have to do different have two different lifestyles then.
Only why I
Overall,
said
we can
that
all
because
go ahead.
you said, do we really understand what gluten is? So I just felt like based off that question, just because someone appears slimmer doesn't mean they don't lack that number three. Because they
Yeah.
could still overeat, they could still have the unhealthy ways and stuff. So just because they appear slimmer doesn't mean that they don't do that,
Yeah,
you
they
know?
gluttony. Yeah, that's gluttonous. Like you could be skinny and gluttonous. Yeah, you could be skinny, gluttonous, big and gluttonous. That's the issue, and I like that you said that. I think that's the reason. I ain't no thing. I know that's the reason why you say your sisters are big and you're small because all y'all probably eat gluttonous, but the results of gluttonous is showing on them more than you know whoever you said the skinny one was or smaller one is. So that's what that is though. So everybody you know that shows though because if everybody was to manage their food and stuff 9 times out of 10 either you probably be or whoever be more skinnier than the other one but the other ones wouldn't be as big you know because they managing their food they're not just eating to be full and surpassing whatever and just eating all the snacks they want and all this other stuff like it ain't supposed to be like that and the calorie intake is big.
Yeah, I
Gotta.
understand. But most women that I even see in the Black community don't even really eat snacks like that, honestly.
Mhm.
Like I said, Black women are just naturally bigger to me. They naturally thicker, they naturally have more curves. So, and even me, like I'm not big, but I'm not small. I'm on the thick side. So, even me, like, you know, um, I don't eat like unhealthy food, like snacks and stuff like that, you know. But I just think naturally our culture just naturally just grow thicker. So we gotta, it's not only just a sister thing, it's a cultural thing. Compared to other cultures, sometimes we just naturally grow thicker and curvier. That was the point I was trying to make. So
What
with
y'all eat though?
black women, I feel like we gotta probably like we do gotta watch our soul food more because
Right, I
that's
was just about to talk about soul food. I was literally about to talk about that.
yeah, I think it's just our soul food that's making us like that. You know what I mean? But still, I see Hispanics. Um, Africans, Caribbeans, everybody else eat the same food we literally eat, just different seasoning.
Right, and the seasoning is what's getting us. It's all that sugars and them salts. That's the main thing we really addicted to. But
Yeah, because if you really pay attention to like how Spanish people eat, that's considered soul food too. It just we call it soul food, but they still eating rice, they still eating chicken, they still eating all the food we eat, candy yams, greens, everything. They just flavor it in a Spanish way. You
yeah,
know
a
what I
lot of them
mean?
don't eat a lot of bread either. They eat like pita, them little pita things, and
But they eat a lot of rice, and rice is equivalent to bread.
yeah. What they like you said, everybody
They
body is
love
built
rice
different.
because my little sister is half Ecuadorian, half African American, and that's they eat rice for everything, you know. So, like I said, sometimes it's just cultural. Like black women, sometimes they just
Now,
come
don't they
bigger.
move more? Don't they more active, right?
Who?
The other cultures, they're more active than us. They actually walk around. They're not on their phones all day and all that. They actually moving around. That's probably what's helping them burn the weight, even though they're eating the same,
Mm,
right?
I don't know. I think being on the
They
phone
not
is a
sitting there watching
preference.
Bad Girls Club and all that other stuff. They actually moving around and getting up.
Like I said, my father, his other, his wife after my mom is Ecuadorian. So you'll be surprised how much Spanish and black women got in common. Honestly, they just like the lighter versions of us.
Yeah, it's a
They be
lifestyle
into
too.
baddies just like us. They talk, a lot of them even talk just like us. You know what I mean? So they just light skin with it. If I could just
Yeah,
say the truth to you.
yeah, I feel you on that. But like I said, we have to fake. Even though that's what I'm saying, you proving more of a point of that they do the same things, but they also probably
And they
have a different
overweight too.
lifestyle.
So I'm not saying that because they overweight too. When I speak about slim, I'm talking about most YT women. I'm not even talking about Spanish because they on the thick side, they on the big side too, just with the black woman, the minorities overall. But I'm talking about like the white people. I feel like, when I see them, most of the time they have natural slim, taller, leaner bodies naturally. Even through high school, you'll see black women a little shorter, thicker, and then you'll see the white girls, they taller and slimmer, you know? So I just noticed those genetics like just growing up, being in school and stuff like that too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I
That's
even
true.
see girls that be like into sports and stuff, like black women that be into sports and they still got a big ass, not to say like that, not to curse, but they be slim, but they still got mad hips, mad thighs. Like it just in a black woman to be thick, I think. I don't
Yeah.
think I think it gotta be their body type for them to be slim naturally. It just have to be in them. Like I have a cousin, she could eat the whole house and she don't get bigger than like 120 pounds.
Yeah, it's a high metabolism. Yeah, I
No,
get
I
that.
think it's just based off of genetics too.
Yeah,
Like
genetics play a part too, though. And I also
like
hear like people say ancestors can give you all this stuff. But like I said, food management and lifestyle choices that play a major part more than genetics. That will literally change a lot of stuff, though. So when it just that stuff we don't build those shapes without eat the way we eat and the way we
It's
manage our life. It
it
just
is
don't work like that.
it is a combination. It is genetic. Genetics play a huge role. They do.
yeah.
But if I could answer number one, yes, we have absolute control of that because we do. We can. Number two, yes, people can be very set in their ways, but can they learn a different way and a better way for health reasons or whatever? Yes, they can. I don't think people understand what gluttony is. I really don't. I think if you asked people on the street, like if you would go to like interview people or like go out with a camera and a microphone and ask people, what does gluttony mean? They probably wouldn't even know, majority. I'm serious. And working on yourself, I think the majority of the people that I have come in contact with my entire life, it's more about being taking care of what you have to take care of. Like, because I grew up in a primarily strong women were strong women. The men were mostly not so strong. So we had to take care of everything. So working on ourselves as far as like, I mean, there are many different aspects of that, but health wise, no, when you're thinking about like maintaining your household and paying the bills and stuff like that, working on yourself isn't, it's not top of the, do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
As you laugh at me. That's funny, right?
I think she sneezed.
No, I sneezed. I wasn't laughing at you.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me see how those. I was just looking up something real quick. Greetings and that's a desire and stuff.
So you have nothing to say about my.
But you know what I do feel as a woman that is a little bigger? I feel like I don't like how I understand like I was watching this podcast earlier and this woman she was just saying that she prefer a man that's like more like
Matt, you talking about muscular? I think I was seen that video
yes. And I
earlier.
felt like
That's what made me
that
think about this topic.
right, but that woman that was actually coming for her, the bigger girl looked better than her. For one, and then two, the bigger woman wasn't just saying she just preferred her major thing was she was saying she's a big woman. She need a guy that can handle her.
Who wants a skinny woman that looks like a boy? Like a little boy. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like little skinny women, they don't have a bum or a chest or a leg. Like they don't have.
Nothing. Like it's
Like a
honestly like
boy.
preference because the woman who was talking to her, she wasn't that skinny herself to be throwing stones. So I just felt like, that was just like another case of a black woman just trying to tear another black woman down. Only thing she said was she liked the guy podcast because he was handsome and she liked to watch his page. Okay, that's her, she just found some attractive. And then she said she needed a man that, a little muscular. She didn't say he only gotta be like just straight gym body. She was just saying strong basically. I know what she meant. Because as a bigger woman, you can't be with no skinny behind guy who can't handle you. You
No.
know?
I didn't know what
That
that
was
meant,
her
but now
point.
I get you. No, I've always been a bigger woman my whole life.
Yeah, so I just don't like how they be just trying to tear big women confidence down and make them feel like a lot of the women that's saying that to these bigger women, honestly, if you gotta tear this woman confidence down, you probably not confident in yourself. That's how I see it.
Yeah, anyone who does anything like that, I think, is like insecure.
Because everybody got a different type.
And
Just like
well,
my dad is a muscular 6'3", handsome, in a gym, fanatic, makes six figures a year, own houses, and he prefer thicker woman. That's his type. He like curves. That's what he want. He wouldn't be with a slim girl, so that's his type. He wouldn't even give a skinny girl a chance of a day. So
and
that's what I'm saying. Every man has a type. So
I just think appearance really. I mean, yes, obviously you have to like someone's appearance to love them and fall in love and marry them. But I mean, I to have a type kind of is like a little weird to me. Like I don't get it. But and you're laughing at me again.
why are you laughing?
That part's
He
crazy. I'm gonna give you the bug with your feet. That part's crazy.
Huh?
It's like I might like hot sauce, but the next person might not like hot sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like we all like different stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
So
I just feel
why
like
were you
trying to tell a
laughing?
bigger woman to she need to change herself, she need to lose weight. She could feel beautiful the way she is. And other men could find her
Is it
beautiful and
about being beautiful or healthy?
she could be healthy too. Like I said, big don't mean unhealthy as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, it do. Yes, it do.
No, it
No,
doesn't
no, it
because
doesn't.
I don't have
It is
any
such
health
thing as a
problems
healthy.
and
It's a
I'm 200 pounds with no
yes,
health
right,
problems.
but that's not good for you for your bones and joints and other in your intestines.
Well,
Some
can I say
people
Yeah,
something
don't.
to you?
You
My
can't
great
say that.
grandmothers, they lived to 100 years old damn near, and they was big their whole life. So
Yeah,
a
but
lot of the things y'all say, it don't even
I'm
make
gonna put it this
sense.
way. I'm gonna put it this way. I mean, everybody have a choice though, but I don't want to act like this should be a reason. Just because somebody else is doing it, that don't mean you can admit that. We could just admit that a lot of us just lazy or something like that. Don't say that. Well, other people are doing it and all this other stuff. It's just like, no, you just, I mean, because everything I'm hearing, it sound like it's more of a how people may view you type, and rather than worrying about yourself, word about, your
Cholesterol.
full management, right? Cholesterol, all that stuff, right?
Oh,
It's
Wendy,
like,
you
all
guys
right,
have yours
but as
checked.
long as somebody like me, and I think that's the issue, it's not about being liked, it's about your own personal
Yeah, but
health.
black women carry weight differently. A lot of us got too much ass to carry around to be
I'm
that
not, well, I'm
skinny.
not talking
So
about
what you
that.
want us to do? We don't look like that.
It's
Nah,
not that
nah,
if
cause
you
I'm
cool, with that, that's cool though. I'm
I'm
just
just
saying
saying the
that
truth.
all I'm saying is you can put in work. You can literally put in work instead of being lazy. I'm just saying we keep acting like that somebody got to be stuck a certain way, and we can't control that. If you good and happy where that, you shouldn't have to worry about somebody calling you fat then or hurting your feelings if you say you so called confident. That don't make sense. So overall,
yeah,
it's
cause
either you happy with it or you either fake happy
No,
with
I
it.
just think that people that is slimmer, if you see a big, beautiful person, give credit too. Like, stop trying to act like everybody got to lose weight because you skinny and because that's your life.
I think you're
Beauty
missing
come
my
in
point.
different forms. If you see somebody fat and sloppy, that's different. But
Do
if you
you
see
like being big?
somebody that got the weight in all the right places, beautiful face, everything good, why are you telling that person that they big and you know they
Do you,
beautiful, even
do
if they
you,
was big?
it can't be because you have to be told you got to be big and beautiful. Do they even matter? It's like people like, I don't know. I guess they say stuff to make themselves feel better, but it's like either you're happy being big or not. You
No,
shouldn't have to worry about what other
That's
people
not
say
my
if that's the
point that I
case.
was saying, love.
can we establish, like, I
That
think a
wasn't my point.
woman who's like,
Yeah, because you keep going out to the external and how people view you, and I'm talking about the internal of how and the choices we make in our life. We can't say
And
that
I
because
just told you that
some
most
people.
people is big due to genetics. It's not only because they eat
Okay, that's
unhealthy as you
still no
think.
excuse of being
That's
lazy.
just
Like when
your
the last time,
opinion.
okay, even though you said that, when was the last time these so-called people has hit a gym or even watched what they ate?
or gone to a doctor.
Or how many times do they go to the
your
doctor?
accent.
When
How
have they
many
had their
times do
That
last?
other
Boston
people, but
accent.
just because somebody's small don't mean they in a doctor in the gym either. That was my
Oh
only
my God, this sound like
My my only thing is it. As long as you love yourself, like if you're 300
What do
plus,
that mean? You can't love yourself if you're 300 pounds.
Nah, cause I'll put it
you
like
didn't let
this.
me
If I,
finish.
Go
I
ahead,
didn't
go ahead.
finish.
go ahead, Pete.
If
I gotta
you're
listen.
like if you're like 5 feet tall and 300 pounds, then yeah, that's a problem. But if your health, genetics is everything. I'm telling you. If your family has a history of breast cancer or colon cancer or pancreatic cancer, you're potentially, and most likely, if it's a direct relative like your mother, you're gonna have it. You're gonna have it, or your father.
We can't
I'll put
run
it
with
like
that. I mean, I get you on that. You cannot say genetics is everything. Life choices is
I
everything.
said primarily
I can't say that either. That
genetics.
it's so you can, like, if you were born a certain way, you still can manage the things that you were born. Because the thing is, we can't just say that, because it could be like kind of dangerous, because like people is going to have this give up thing. Well, I was born with this, so there's nothing else I should do with it. Of course, we can say that it help assist things. It can be a cause of why people who have high blood pressure. Sure, you can be born with maybe some diseases or whatever, but you can still find ways to overcome it. You can overcome. So it's all about life choices. That's what the biggest thing is. That's what I'm trying to get out of this. Like you can even have a thyroid issue and all these things that people claim, or you can say that you were born with, I can't help that I have big hips. No, you can, but people just love it, or they assist with it because they know that they know that people is going to accept them for that. But you can change the size of it. You can change all that.
You have a
But
thyroid
nobody want to
issue.
change the size of that.
Of
Your
Like,
weight
course,
for
shouldn't
that's
instance, if
matter.
all my mothers and all my grandmothers was curvy women, why would I want to be a stick? Do you think that's attractive to me? No.
why do we skinny shame people too though? I don't get that though. Just because you
Why do
we're
we
fat.
not
fat
we're
shame
not
people? It's the
we're
same
not
thing.
Who
saying to
said it?
be
Oh my
we're
God.
not saying to be
Did
anorexic
I hear
and
that
be a
right?
steak. It's just to be healthy.
I don't.
Like you could still be like 180, 190 and healthy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
They
Like
always go from
instead of someone
big
having a
to
lot of
skinny.
fat, they can offset it with building muscle.
Right,
Yeah,
I
I
understand
think
that
people
logic. I like
they
that.
don't like putting in work. They want stuff to be coming easy to me, so they want to be accepted. That's the thing. It's not.
You can eat
So that mean
healthy.
that show how much you care for yourself. If you weren't, if your stuff is based off of how other people, if they're going to accept you or not, rather than make changes for yourself, that's already an internal
I
issue
like what
already.
the guy said though, Laugh. He said that if you want to be a bigger weight, you could just work on your muscle and your tone up that way, and it could be a healthy weight. That's what I do agree with, because everybody just don't look right small. They just don't. That's just my take, and I'm gonna
It's
land
not
there.
about looks though. You keep going to
It is
looks.
about looks. When you first meet
No,
people, the first
Nah,
thing you're looking at is their
no,
looks, how they look.
no.
nah. So like, I'll put it like
That's
this:
where you're wrong.
if I have a wife and she's pushing almost 300 pounds, I'm be like, baby, I still love you for everything, but like, I don't want you to have a fucking heart attack. You know what I'm saying? When your heart valves fucking close up because your cholesterol is out of control. So you know what I'm saying? It's not because you fat. It's because I'm worried about your health because we know certain things will happen if you don't take care of your body.
Okay,
Yeah.
so can I ask y'all men something?
Mm-hmm.
All right. My whole life, since I was growing up, I always, like I said, as a teenager, my body was developing. I already had big breasts, big hips. My stomach not even big. But I'll go to the doctor and he will tell me just because my weight, I have to lose weight. But majority of my weight is in my upper and my lower. Not my arms, not my back, not my stomach. So that's what I'm trying to say.
But
A
all
lot
you
of
care
black
about is
women, we naturally
appearance.
just grow like that.
Hold on,
You're talking
Camera.
about appearance.
We naturally grow like that. We can't help it.
No, Cam. All right, somebody said the same thing as me. I was just saying it too. I'm a Camera up there. I gotta see this.
Yeah, I'm
Since you
saying the
said,
same thing, Kev. Hey, you know.
Even in Africa, the women grow the same way.
even the
They
whole
got
room
mad
like
hips,
Camera.
mad breasts. They can't help it. It's in our genetics.
Nah, we gotta see this.
We got to see
Came up
this.
real quick. We gotta see this.
Yeah, I be boy.
Why you think black women is one of the most
It's a
sexualized?
reason why
Because the
that
way they look.
Barbie up there and not you. Come on now.
No, I do that because when people be trolling up here and they try to just they instead of just hearing you out, they try to just go to your profile and just, oh, you're black, you're this, you're that. You know what I mean? I don't have time for that. If
If
I
you
want to get
confident
to
in
know
yourself, why
someone,
do that matter though? Like I
because
said,
I don't like trolls,
you
especially from people I don't know.
then why be
You
on the
know, you
internet
deal with
then?
trolls on a day-to-day basis going
Right.
out of life. What are we talking about?
Well, I don't though.
These are people that have nothing
Then
better
why
to
be on the
do.
internet then?
Hey, Kev.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
be on the internet with my rap
Yeah,
star
you,
picture.
you can have different forms of one word, right?
Yeah.
And it can play out in different, how can I say it? Different kind of actions and things, characteristics, traits, blah, 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 right?
Yep.
So even if you think you're not dealing with something because you don't necessarily see it how you see it one place, don't mean that you're not dealing with it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll just make it so. Proceed, y'all.
Okay. I like that. I like that. I see what you did.
Called denial, and that's not a river.
Not the river. I get what you just did right there. Denial. Not
Yeah.
the river. Okay.
Well, I
Smell
was
what I'm
cracking up
stepping
when you
in.
said that.
You smell what I'm stepping in.
Yeah, but that's why I say we gotta the first thing we need to stop doing is like this false confidence is something else. And confidence that now I can say that's everything. I like that when somebody say that everything, that is everything right there. Because like the thing is a lot of the times we live off pride and think that there's confidence, and society itself try to teach us that is what confidence is. And that's the reason why a lot of us is unaliving each other and all that stuff, because we just live off pride and we can't take.
And ego.
You could be literally humble and have confidence. I don't know why people don't understand that. So the thing is, if you claim you're this way, like you don't have to call yourself a 10. You don't say that I'm except all that. You don't have to do all this stuff because like you only lying to your you're doing the denial river. Somebody just said that right there. I mean not the river. My bad. Oops. But you only just hurting yourself. So you could also tell the person's confidence based off of how much they are defensive. Defensive over stuff that can be explained to everybody else. But when you're very defensive, that show you the amount of confidence that you have. A lot of us just can't admit that. We have insecurities. We have things we have to work on. We have things that we have to grow in. Nobody knows it all. Nobody. But
Yeah,
if
and
we
the
don't
confident
admit
people,
it first, we will never grow in it. We just wouldn't.
confident people don't argue. They don't have to defend. They
Yeah,
know.
that's true. That's true.
And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I
But I
grew up as a
just,
big boy,
it's a
and
lot
then
of
I
creeps on
changed
this
my ways. You know
page.
what I'm saying? So like, I
Hmm.
am that bad guy to call someone a fat ass or like a fat fuck, but not to be mean. You know what I'm saying? But just to start the kindle of the fire. So so they use that as motivation. So like, damn, I gotta start working out. I gotta start eating healthy. Because sometimes it does take that. It doesn't take like you know what I'm saying. Maybe one day you could look how you want to look. Nah, it's like sometimes you gotta hear the harsh words. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the reason I don't put my pictures on social media, I had people create fake pages of my pictures, for one, and then two, you never know who got your picture sitting in their phone drinking off. So I just don't want to be sexualized by
Oh my
nobody or for my
gosh,
That's
you
a
pictures.
go
that's a
too.
compliment though. I'm
So
gonna
that
keep it a
would
buck.
just
Don't be on the
no, because
internet then. They might be doing that with your
no, but
voice
I
right
don't
now.
care. I don't want that though. I just don't want that type of energy with people I don't
Then
even
why
know
are
just
you
drinking
on
off
the
of my
internet
pics.
once again?
Because
What's
I'm on
up,
the internet to talk. I'm
Arthur?
not on the internet for nobody to be looking at me being a creep.
She ain't gotta post herself, gang. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying you still at a risk though. Like if you have this secret life, then why even be on the internet? I don't understand that.
I
It's
mean,
not a
cause
secret
she
life.
has a phone. She bought her phone. She ordered the app. It's that simple.
You gotta
Yeah,
ask
you
for
don't have to.
everything.
Thank you, bro.
You don't have to put your pictures. You don't have
Don't
Yeah,
to.
listen to.
I don't know why she has to explain that. But to answer the prop, two things we have control today: losing weight or behaviors. I agree on behaviors, but losing weight, I mean, that's a personal choice. I feel like should nobody be worried about somebody else's weight.
Exactly.
Cap.
Can people be sitting their way? I'm not gonna answer it.
I don't know if they on them yet. I think they're probably on the first
Yeah, the
two.
first one I'm really on. I feel like I don't know if ain't nobody willing to work out and they like say that they
Hey,
cool with being
Reggie.
fat, then I mean that's their choice. I don't know.
That ain't cool
But
though,
we
bro.
do
That ain't
have
cool.
control over it.
Oh,
Whether
most
or not we
definitely,
want to do it
most
is
definitely.
our decision. Like, right?
Yeah,
Big
it's
bone.
it's,
Just
it's your
because someone
decision to
else
be fat. It's
thinks,
your decision to be skinny.
right? Just because someone else thinks that we should work on our weight or whatever doesn't mean that they're right.
Exactly.
Facts. I agree.
So it doesn't mean you have to.
Right.
Now my baby, she woke. Oh my bad, y'all.
Man,
Oops.
she been asleep the whole time. That's crazy. Work.
Oops.
No,
Nah, nah, she had to
No, I
get
don't
some.
blame her. Shit, I don't sleep too.
Man.
Get my nephew.
Let me know when you want up. I'm gonna give you a spot.
you want people in your box, don't you?
What the?
How
Well,
big
in your
All
bone?
boxes.
Hey,
You know what I'm
yo.
saying?
First of all, people still say they big bone.
Big bone is imaginary
Hey, where
term.
my mans go, man?
Oh,
Nah,
that's what I'm saying. What the fuck? Listen, you're obese or you're fat. I mean, what the fuck?
Oh, I
Big
was
bone?
fat.
I
I was
mean,
fat.
you're fat. You're fat, obese. You're huge. Yeah. Well, buffalo, water, but whatever the fuck you want to call that shit. Yeah.
Big back.
Big back at its fullest.
Big back. Big
What
back.
the
Like
hell?
fucking Doris.
Why y'all would admit
Oh,
that?
you know the first
Oh,
time,
that's just me. Let's see. Two things we have
the
control of
biggest
today:
time,
losing
the
weight
biggest
and
weight I ever read.
obese.
I was 107, no, 277 pounds at 5'2". My
Sheesh.
daughter was like 2 years old. And I was in nursing school, and I was 5'2", 277. No, was that? Yeah, yeah. I was 277. Oh
So
my
did you
gosh.
did you work on yourself to come out of that weight, or you still that same weight?
Yes. No, no. I'm now about like 170.
Oh, that's good. That's a
Nice.
good weight.
But
Hey.
that was the biggest. Like I was always heavy my whole life.
Yeah, me
And
too.
yeah, even when I was a teenager, like that's just the way it was. And that was strongly because of genetics. And, you know, I grew up in a home
Hey,
that
sis
didn't
coming
have
up,
a
man.
lot of money. And so we ate a lot of carbohydrates
Cash.
because that's what we had to do.
Hey,
And
beauty, real quick. Hold on, real quick. Beauty, I'm gonna drop you and bring you right back up. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, Pink, you can go ahead. He just we bring it
yeah,
up.
we had to eat the carbohydrates. A lot of them.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna be real with y'all. If you honestly think I'm gonna tell you, I used to tell people this shit all the time. If y'all think that y'all weight don't deal with y'all, doesn't have any effect on y'all behavior, you fucking stupid. I'm just gonna say it point blank, very straightforward. You're fucking stupid. Um, y'all do know being overweight, and not only does it cause your health problems, but it can also cause your cognitive problems. It can also cause disarray with your brain function and everything, due to
Brain
the
fog.
fact that your body is actually having to work 5 to 10 times in overdrive than the amount of time, like, you know, like a regular person that's staying fit, staying within health regulations and things. Your body works overtime when you're overweight. Like, you're pushing 5 to 10 times more power, more, you know what I'm saying, shit to your
Carrying it.
heart and everything.
In
So
our brains. In our
yeah, like
brains.
you depriving yourself, and in one essence, you thinking you look good externally. Oh, you may feel good, but internally, you killing yourself. Excuse my French and everything. But yeah, like what are we talking about? You can control your weight and your behaviors. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, we already established that.
Nah, that was to the point, bro. He was like, "Yeah, you can't." I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? That's a personal choice, bro. I'm just be real with y'all. Y'all height, people think that height shit don't matter when it comes in terms of your weight and shit. That fucking plays a factor as well. I'm not gonna hold you. Most people when they're overweight, you can kind of tell it because they have like a heavier breath, or they can't say long
They're breathing
sentences of
heavy.
phrases without losing breath. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people be thinking that shit is healthy. Like, what? I digress. Hey, sis.
Hi.
Nah,
Thank you. You know I love topics like this.
I know. I was thinking about.
Look, I don't, man, cause I don't even like if it's about the look, like it's just the weirdest thing to be okay to be overweight. Like I would always try to lose weight. Like it just get big and they're like, who cares? How do you get to that point? I don't understand it.
Because they give up.
Societal
Because they
acceptance.
give up.
Yeah.
Ankles all caved in and all type of stuff. It's like, man.
Societal acceptance. When society, see people goddamn get what's the word, that society accepts a look from particular folks, so other folks will idolize and you know what I'm saying, utilize that kind of look in their life and say, oh, this is beautiful, when in fact, I'm gonna be real with y'all, most of these people that y'all think are heavyweighted and beautiful, they are fucking sick. I mean, if y'all want to be all the way real, look at Lizzo. She was big or obese. What the fuck? Or fat, whatever the fuck you want to call it. She was that way. And what did
Obese.
she
That
not
was
do?
obese. Keep it a
What
buck.
did she not do? She lost weight. Why? Because she had so many fucking health factors playing in her life. But people be big and think they go to their doctor and they doctor be like, you need to lose a little weight. He telling you that shit because your heart is working in overdrive. And I'm
Like,
telling
I'm gonna
you.
come back on your live, okay? In a couple of minutes.
All right, for sure.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, I'm like, shit, I was big at one point in time. Guess what? When I lost that fucking weight, I was unhealthy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Miss Effie Feelings. It's not even about the look. For me, if people start like are staying big because of the like people are accepting it, you care about other people. Like you can't convince me that you don't seek out validation. Like you can't. Like I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me because it's not about the look. It's literally heavy. It hurts your knee. It hurts everything. It hurts your back. It hurts everything. Like
Yep.
I understand being like a little bit overweight, you got a little tummy, whatever. But to get obese, that you got to put in some work to become obese.
It's a simple fact that majority of women will call Lizzo beautiful, but if you tell them they look like Lizzo, they're like, "What the fuck you say?" You know, it's as simple as that. It's as
Y'all
simple
see
as
that
that.
comment? Y'all see that comment? She said someone can't look overweight. If I can look at you and
I'm
say
gonna
you
start
fat,
using
and I can see
that.
you fat, you're overweight. So you can't say I can't look at you and say you're over. Bro, you're fat. Like what the fuck are
Yo,
we talking
listen to
about?
itself.
Me, hey, listen, I'm the kind
That's
of
a good
person
one,
like
right?
if I have like a girl, or let's say hypothetically I had a wife. I'm be real. I'm very very blunt with what I say, and I'm direct, and I'm be real. I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Baby, you're fat. You need to look. We can both go to the gym, all right? Because I got a little pudge myself. I got to work on this. But listen, do you want to be here for another 5 years, or do you want to be here for another 50 years or another 50 days? You tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? What we talking about?
Yeah.
Oh wow, we got a squishy and fat coming up.
Someone can be 6'3", two
So
something and healthy. Like I said,
not
it's
squishy.
6'3" and two
Oh,
something and interesting.
Yeah, that
But honestly,
but brown skin,
a
that's
six
okay.
three that makes sense to be 200 pounds to be 6'3". That makes sense.
Yeah,
True.
You got longer bones, so you have more
True.
bone, or you have more cartilage, you have more muscle going along your bones. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
The
It
BMI is
all adds
based
up.
off of height and weight.
yeah. I'm like, oh, they saying this girl out here. I'm gonna give y'all. Let's give an example. You're 5'5" and you're fucking
Mm,
237. You're fat. I'm
mm.
sorry, respectfully, you're fat. I'm just gonna call it like it is. You're fat.
Oh, you
I'm
most
just gonna
definitely
be real with
big.
you. Okay, big, fine, big. You're big. You obese. You overweight. Buffalo back. Okay.
Big
At the end
back.
of the day, if it's going off of height and weight, I mean, shoot, you can see a 6'3" dude and he could be two something, or a 6'3" woman and she could be two something. That don't mean they healthy. I mean, yeah, you got a point with that, but at the end of the day, you can still kind of look at them and be like, nah, you're a little overweight. You could still be overweight and be that height.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
And then also like it still stands that you can look at somebody and see that they're overweight. You may not be able to see it for everyone, but
You can still see it. Yeah.
Oh
there's
yeah.
it's not for every single person, but for the most part, that rule kind of stands. You can see extra fat on their body.
It's not
Mm.
even that. You can tell by the way they walk, if they walk straight or if they waddle. And I ain't trying to be funny. I'm keeping the book. Because when someone has their thighs with too much fat on it, you know what I'm saying? You can't really walk straight. You got to side to side type shit.
Yeah, so you don't be chafing down there. Yeah, they know
Yeah,
about
exactly.
it. I'm
So
like,
Brown,
Baby oil.
I
Baby oil
think
does the trick.
I think Brown, like the thing is, I get you. You just trying to push your point, and
Oh, not at all.
I get Brown point, and I get the overall point of like you guys still admit that you can tell that a lot of people you can tell that they're overweight. You know, it's just like looking at a duck, seeing a duck, it might be a duck type situation. So you can tell a lot. It can either be wrong or right, but you can tell for the most part. Like if you see somebody that's tall and then see all this, they face chunky and all that stuff, 9 times out of 10 they look overweight. You can just tell. And then we know, I think everybody know about BMI. We get that point. That overweight, a lot of times you can't just go based off a visual and just say it also either. So yeah, do have to overweight got to do with the amount of weight you have with your size. So I get that too. But it's like we can't act like or cancel each other, even though both people is right. Both people is right. And I don't think it's just over. So you're just saying the base of it. Of course, the base of it is that's all that really matters is the BMI. We get that, but it just don't disregard the fact that we can tell that some people is overweight. Overweight can be a look too.
And we got to keep it a buck. Just like the girl that dropped out, she said, my grandma, my mama big. Just because
hey, yo,
someone
Brown, you
else
got a point.
big doesn't make it okay.
Mm-mm. I'll be real with you. A lot of the older generation, I try to be funny. A lot of our parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles, and shit. When they went to the doctors, and that's if they went. Some of them were stubborn as fuck. They believed in goddamn, uh, what I'm saying, doctors, blah blah blah. A lot of them that went, I'm pretty sure they doctors told them that they were overweight and things and they needed to work on this because it was going to cause health issues down the road. And most of them, you know what they did? They did just what typical motherfuckers would do. They didn't listen. They decided, I got this. This is my body. I know my body. And some of those folks to this day, some of them are still here and some are gone. And for most of them that are here, they I'm talking about holding on by a damn thread and a needle right now because of it. They made a whole show about it. My
Facts.
600-pound lifestyle. Like, what are we talking about here?
And 85% of those people never changed.
Thank you. Still got the same eating habits. Still out here doing the same bullshit they was doing before, putting that junk.
Mm-hmm. Get my stuff. Oh.
You wait. Hold on, real quick. Yeah, but no bad. Somebody called me. But what I was saying, yeah. So those people still putting the same toxins and everything in their body. They didn't tell them they need to change their habits and all the eating. They didn't want to do it. Now look at them.
Mm-hmm. What did Squishy say? Oh, dang, why we always
Oh yeah,
allow
yeah, yeah.
everything? Dang. Give me some of my brain back sometime. Dang. Squishy, what you got for me?
I was just stopping by and I was seeing the topic and stuff. Based on my name, y'all can probably assume that I am definitely what you would objectively say is overweight, big, fat. I don't have a problem with the word fat. I don't care. Some people are a little bit sensitive about it because it's depending on the context that it's used in. I get it. But for me, I guess my personal opinion is as long as I can walk, as long as I can do the job I love, as long as I'm proactive in my life and doing general like activity, like that's cool and that's okay with me. I think a long time ago I got over the facet of like being insecure about my appearance because a lot of it was perspective and a lot of it was projection. And I found myself to be significantly happier learning that through therapy and shit like that, obviously, right? But also just through life experience and meeting other people and like checking in with myself that it's not something I'm super pressed about at this time, I
Do you feel
guess.
like you're the best you could be right now?
I think that everybody can be better. Me, myself, I think compared to how I was 5 years ago, even 2 years ago, and like how hard it was and how distressing, like shit like quarantine put me through, stuff that I was going through personally. I was diagnosed with a disorder that significantly reduced my lifespan in any capacity, which is very fastidious depending on how current your treatment is. And right now, like, I feel just, I'm content. Like, obviously, like, could I be more? Could I be better? Yes. But when I visualize better, I don't visualize, like, looking like a petite individual. But I visualize like just being in a better mental and headspace and not being pressed or insecure about the way that I look compared to like how I was back then. Everyone can work on habits, eating habits, being more active, things like that. But anyone can also just be better or worse. Like it can change tomorrow. So I guess that's just my mental. Some people feel differently. Some people are very offended even by the notion of a fat ass person existing. And like that's their prerogative, but like in the end, your ass is unhappy. Like you are pressed about something that doesn't involve you, isn't relevant, doesn't change the trajectory of your life. It changes theirs, however, in the manner in which that you treat them. And y'all don't know what's going on with other people. So I always find it very like a very backwards ass argument where people are just like, yeah, like less valid individual, less valid, less human. I guess if that's like kind of what we're going for. But I'm a behavioral technician, a behavioral therapist. So in terms of the first prompt, I do believe that we're definitely in control of our behaviors, but there are, based on people that I meet and based on kind of the circumstances of what we go through, sometimes it takes shaping and it takes help for that to happen. And there are also a lot of things that are just generally out of our control and make things harder for other people anyway.
Mm.
So that's my take. Like, anybody got to agree with it. If y'all hate big backs, like, that's your prerogative, but they exist. So maybe it's just easier to just swallow and be a little bit
That's the issue.
less
Too much swallow. That's the
aggravated.
issue. So no, but
I
got a question to that.
but no, I don't think nobody have a
Yeah,
hatred
hate is
towards
a
them.
strong word.
We
No,
just
no,
want people
I
to be
just
the
wanted a
best
question
version
though.
of themselves is all. And we
Yeah,
know
go
it's
ahead, bro.
possible.
I think
Oh,
what's hated is people actually working out and stop being lazy and stuff. That's what's hated. That's what I think that is. And everybody, I think everybody in life have to put in work regardless. I think that's just literally part of life. I think
I
it's
agree. I think people should step out and try to live their best selves, and that requires you to be active, right? I think that the worst thing someone can do is just stay home and stay strapped down and be immobile, obviously. But I say that not just in a physical manner, but in a mental one, because it's very limiting and like your quality of life, like significantly is drained when you let that shit happen. So
yeah. And then you say you had said some during quarantine. You said something happened. Like
well, quarantine fucked up everybody. Sorry, like quarantine done messed up everybody, and like I'll say
no, I
that
think some people
objectively.
actually grew out of it. So it depends on what was already internal. So
Yeah,
I say expose people. It didn't. I don't think it messed people up. It just exposed what was already within them. So some people had got pushed or got motivated out of it. Some people got set back from
yeah,
what
no,
they
for
already
sure.
was quiet. Yeah, so I would say quarantine.
Yeah, I think for me, where I stood, I think it was more mental where I was at. Um, really mess with me and where I wanted to go, and my pursuits in my life at the time started to be very like everything felt very unsure for me.
Didn't
But
you
like
say that with the because you said with you said because you said you what you call yourself big and all that stuff, like did that happen during that time?
I've always been big. That's the
Oh yeah,
problem.
because you said I think you said you had something like you develop a health issue eventually, right?
Yeah. Um,
Yeah. And I think that's kind of the point right there is that even though we say we settle with these things, like we could a lot of these health issues we can prevent by really
mhm.
just focusing and work. Because we don't. The thing is, we don't want to make it seem like these things happen for no reason, and we don't want to kind of teach the people that's
No.
under us, different. Like just be good, be cool who you are, and be confident. And everybody can be squishy and fat. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Like we don't want to kind of like push that out. We gotta let them know, like, hey, if you don't want to be through what I'm going through, what I'll go through, you have to put in the work. You gotta do something. You gotta just like we were talking about to be active and all the other stuff, and watch what we eat. We gotta watch what we eat. Focus on it. We know the food in America is bad, so we gotta reduce on the intake on that too, especially if we ain't got the money like that.
I
So
agree to a capacity. I just think that there is sometimes people think that it's very black and white. I'm not saying that obviously we shouldn't say like, hey, if you do A behavior, this is B consequence. This that is like to happen or has a very high risk factor of happening. But like in the same light, I think that we also have to assess that there is risk to everything. I mean, the air you breathe, the food you eat, your interactions with people, and how close you are to them, and what you're getting and what you're giving, are all palpable things that obviously most people don't consider even faintly as much as they do like the concept of fat or being fat, right? So it's all down to like, yes, you being bigger increases your risk, but you also living in a metropolitan city also increases your risk of intaking toxins, of breathing in wild stuff, of being part of like another pandemic. Those are all things that need to be assessed. But I'm not out here being like very punitive, I guess, to people who do choose to engage in like behaviors that are like maybe considered not to be top tier healthy, or they just so happen to be, based on their appearance, like maybe not the pinnacle of health, right? Because yes, blah blah blah, they're worthy of living and existing, whatever, but like also just generally like I don't know them. I don't know what their risk factors are. We could all die tomorrow is my take. So I really take each day at a time. For me, I know some people are very pressed and feel particularly like worried or concerned, and that's their prerogative. They feel like that's relevant to them. But like, just speaking for me, that's like where I'm at. So
I get you. You saying you living life by life. I would say, and I always put it, and I'll be telling my own people this is like, you want to at least go out in life trying. You know, you don't want to always have any regrets. I just put it that way, though. I know it's easier. We can say, you know, things we're going on in life anyways, you know, stuff like that. But at least try. I just say try. That's all I say.
I get
Yes.
that.
DGR, I think you were trying to say something. What you got for me?
Yeah, can I ask you a question, Squishy? This isn't trying to be hateful or anything, but I am that bad guy. You know what I'm saying? And I like psychology, so I just want to like understand the mindset. So like, if I would call you fat or like obese and like get a little harsher with it, like would that fire you up to like work out, or like would that like put you down like sad, or like would you like brush it off?
I think if you have told me, damn, you're fat, like 5 to 10 years ago, me feeling the way that I was and being around the people that I was and thinking that I wasn't the pinnacle of health at the time, I would obviously be offended. But in recent years, I've found that I have quite literally bigger shit to be dealing with beyond just like whether or not I got more tush or something or more belly or whatever. Like that shit don't bother me. Like the most grievance it gives me right now, unless the doctor tells me otherwise, is that sometimes I be rolling on that shit and that's it. But if you called me fat today, and if you tell me right now and I don't proclaim it myself, like just out of context, and like, damn girl, you fat, like I consider the word fat to be, and I know some people are very sensitive about it, and that's okay. That's okay for them to feel that way. But the word fat should be taught as objectively like a word, a description. Fat is the opposite of skinny or thin. Skinny is the opposite of thin or fat, right? So those are just used as descriptions. What like gets me is what is the function of you saying that to me? What is your intention? Is your intention to hope that like by you calling me fat, I'm gonna like drop to my hands and knees and bawl and go work out and eat a protein shake? Like that's not how I'm gonna live my life.
Intentions mean a lot. Yeah, I get you.
No,
Some
like
people just do it to make you feel bad.
my sole intention would only to start that kindle of that fire inside you, to start your journey to like living healthier. You know what I'm saying? So for me as a youngin, I would get called fat. You know what I'm saying? A little fat boy. You know what I'm saying? And that started the fire. That started the fire in me. You know, and I was like, fuck that, bro. I'm gonna start lifting weights. I'm gonna be buff as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm still not there because it's still a work in progress. But it's like every day I'm still working out. 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Right.
I feel that. And if you feel like you are an overall better individual and a happier individual, because point blank at the end of the day, you could be fit as fuck and you could be lifting how many evers, and you could have so many people admire you and fawn over you for your appearance. But if you are not okay mentally and you don't see people as people, and you feel that there is a lapse of like and disconnect from other people because you think that they will be prejudiced against you based on your appearance, it doesn't matter. It all goes in the shitter. Like, it doesn't matter. you can do and try your very best to morph and to be stretched thin or to be bigger or to be smaller. And it like hypothetically tomorrow you could fucking die. Like, but if you feel good about the way that you look and you feel happier and you don't feel, I feel like a big proponent of like weight loss, unfortunately for many people, is that they still do struggle with the thoughts and the feelings and those uncomfortable, I guess, like emotions that come with feeling that you are not adequate or even seeing yourself like as adequate. Which I think, like, regardless of how hard you work and what you do and how big or small you are, like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day if that's the way that you feel. If your mindset is that stretched thin from the amount of bad experiences that you've had with other people, it just feels like, I don't know, like it could all go away tomorrow if you so choose to not be in touch or attuned with yourself and to feel good about yourself and what you can do and who you are, right? So I'm not trying to be like corny and say like, oh, be just the way you are, but like, because objectively it's your choice, whatever you want to do. Me personally, it doesn't really bother me like when people call me fat. But if you said that to me 10 years ago when I was like 15 or something, like, and the hype at the time was looking a particular way and everyone made it seem like that was the big deal. Yeah.
Hey, let me get Lee in and then Hugh after that. What you got for me, Lee?
So how do big bone and obesity even relate? Two things we have control of today: losing weight and our behaviors. Agree or disagree, and why? I would say I disagree. We don't have control of a lot of things, and they've made it to where it's really easy to get food. Back in the day, traditional, I'm 36, so we would have to eat at home. You know what I mean? And they made it like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They made it like that. You know what I'm saying? And our bodies are not meant to eat that much food.
What?
You know what I mean?
But it's still a choice to eat
Hold
that
on,
food, though. So we all have a.
So many things I could sit here and talk about because I've struggled with, weight myself. I do go to the gym. I am a thicker, curvy woman. I'm 190 pounds and I'm 5'3.5". I swear I'm 5'4", but the doctor says I'm 5'3". But it's hard, it's discipline, but I feel better when I go to the gym. They want us to stop by and make it easy to go get a coffee and, a burger and fries. Like, what you guys don't understand, the stuff that they're making this with, the seed oils are bad. Like, everything that we're eating is chemicals. So when we're eating chemical food, it goes to your liver because we can't digest it, and then it turns into fat. So, I mean, there's a lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot of people that struggle with weight, but some people can't because they mentally can't even get out of bed, because even skinny people do that, not just big people. Some people, they struggle just like drugs. Food can be just like drugs. It's an emotional habit. You know what I'm saying? So you have to control what you put in your mouth and what you choose. It's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. And that's just what I feel on it.
Okay. Then we could do Hugh and James, and then we can go to open panel again.
Hey, is that MLK changing a 9-volt battery in this guy's profile picture? That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a choice. People are lazy and take the easy choice. I'm always going to judge someone for that, just the same way that I'll judge someone for smoking cigarettes or making other unhealthy choices. I mean, ultimately, it doesn't really affect me unless I have to like sit next to you on an airplane. But I mean, I do kind of like hate to say look down on people, but I mean, I do. You know, the creator gives you one body, and that's what you choose to do with it. Like that's crap. Yeah, it's definitely like easier to choose to eat slop. But I mean, I made homemade beef stroganoff tonight with all fresh ingredients, and it took like 20 minutes of prep time. That's pretty typical. Yeah, it's always going to be easier to throw something in the microwave, but like potatoes are cheap, carrots are cheap, broccoli is cheap. You know, toss it in some olive oil, throw it in the oven at 400 for 20 minutes, and you know, exercise, and you won't be fat.
Okay. James, what you got for me?
Yeah. All right.
It say, how do you big bone and obesity even relate? I think big bone and obesity is the same thing. I feel like big bone people, they just claim they big boned, but most of them that say that is sloppy body, you know, like built like station wagons. So it don't make sense when they say that. But yeah, and like he said, it's easy to lose weight. I'm not gonna lie, right? No. Let me rephrase that. It's not easy to lose weight, but it's easy to lose weight because losing weight is a mindset, bro. All you gotta do is change your mind. Change the way you look at yourself. Change the way you eat. You know, it's choices. It's the choices you make. The choices you make dictate your future and your future weight. I swear to God, if you decide today and you wake up and be like, all right, bet, I'm not eating no sugars. I'm not eating no fats. I'm not going to eat nothing that's going to destroy my body. I'm going to only drink water and I'm going to eat healthy foods. I swear to God, in 5 months, 6 months, you're going to be like, damn, it took this. All I had to do was be consistent and eat right. That's all. It shit easy, but I ain't gonna even lie. A lot of people is battling with like depression and mental health and shit like that, and I get it. But you know that shit is a choice too, cause it's a choice to wake up depressed. It's the choice to wake up mad. You know, like I'm not finna sit around and pout. If I'm broke all day, I'm not finna sit around and pout all day and wish something fall in my lap. I'm finna go get that shit. That's the same way about taking care of your body. If I'm fat, I'm not finna sit around and look at fucking people that's in shape all day and look at fucking short ass quotes and motivational quotes all day. Motherfucker, I'm finna get my fat ass up and go walk around the neighborhood. I'm finna go pick up a dumbbell. Fuck are you talking about? Your fat ass, go walk. Do something with your motherfucking life.
All right, I gotta
God
get
in your life.
there. You go. I like. All right, go we get I was about to be biased, let him get more of the time, but yeah, he's preaching. All right, let me get Bella in, then we can go open panel after that.
Hi. I'm 22, by the way.
Cool.
I think like you can't. Some people have like conditions where they can't like lose weight. Like there's medical conditions where they just can't lose weight. And I have things that affect my weight, like medical conditions, so it's very hard for me to lose it, even when I try. And for like behaviors, there's certain times when I like can't control like behaviors, like during meltdowns and things, like parts of my brain that shut off that controls what I say and do. And there's not a lot I can do about it. But that's really all I had to say.
All right. Open panel, y'all.
James said that they're built like station wagons.
What
Did you just say some people can't lose weight? I just need to know. Is that what she was saying? Did you just say some people
For
can't?
medical reasons. For medical reasons.
No, even with medical reasons, you can't lose weight.
Do you feel comfortable sharing what exactly?
You can lose weight with like things, but some certain medical conditions can make it a lot harder. Like I have like things that affect the weight gain and weight loss, so it's very hard for me to lose weight, even when I
They make
try
it
to.
harder, but it's not impossible though.
Yeah, it's not impossible, but I barely lose any weight, even
Not
when
harder, it's challenging.
I try. I don't lose a lot of weight.
Would you
Science
put
though, like
that
35
on the
calories is a
stuff you
pound.
eat?
What?
Would you put that stuff on like what you eat?
I don't think so.
Because you said like when you're going through like mental stuff, like you can't really help it. So I'm guessing you would turn to like unhealthy foods.
Well, I don't really go. I don't really do that when I go through mental stuff. I'm talking about like when I have meltdowns and stuff.
How many meltdowns you have?
Meltdowns in relation to what?
Autism.
Okay. I'm a
I
behavior
sometimes
therapist, so
yell or scream or hit things, or sometimes we'll throw something
So
across the
every time you
room.
get mad, you get hungry.
No.
No, I'm
Uh,
I'm guessing like she's saying like comfort food when she has like mental stuff going on.
And I mean I have safe foods that I eat all the time. Just
Did y'all know that was gluttony too? But we ain't on that
I
part yet.
have ARFID.
No, we ain't got to.
I still
are you
like
familiar with
James.
what those terms mean or what those conditions are? Because I'm happy to explain it. I'm sure they are as well.
I like James saying that big bone people are built like station wagons. I'm gonna be thinking about that all week.
He said station wagons. I said buffaloes and waterbed.
I'm going to assume that's a no. Okay.
Well,
Hey, question. I got a
I'm
question
confused.
to Squishy though. After
Well, I was just confused. Like, Bella, are you saying that? I mean, did you want to be slimmer, or is that something you want?
Bella.
Huh?
What'd you say?
Did you want to be slimmer? Is that something that you want?
I mean, I was just coming up to answer, I guess. Not.
No, I think it's a general question she asking. In general, do you want?
Yeah, because you spoke on the conditions that make it extremely difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to, but because I used to I used to have a better weight than I am now, but I'm not like terribly overweight or anything.
Can I ask you something? Do you take
Yeah.
medication?
No, I do not. Well,
Okay.
not for weight.
Well, any medication at all? You
Yes,
don't
I
have to
do.
tell me what kind. I'm just asking you, do you take any?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So that medication could be affecting your hormones. How old are you?
22.
Yeah. So we have a lot of hormones and they go up and down. So, and you might have a food allergy. So you need to eat foods that are not high on insulin. Like, you know what I'm saying? Did I say that right, y'all? Is it
Yeah.
insulin? Okay. And you need to do a parasite cleanse. And you can do that by taking a piece of garlic and activating it by smushing it down. You know what I mean? Like you activate it by smushing down the garlic, and then you cut it into like a pill section or whatever and swallow it like a pill. Take a couple of those and that'll clean you out. And then you need to don't eat any fat. Nobody eat fat free. If it says fat free, it's a chemical. It's bad. You might, if you're gonna drink a Diet Coke, you might as well drink the Coke.
Yep.
And have one Coke a day. That's just what I've lost 50 pounds. I'm just telling you from my experience.
Yeah,
So
the medications I take now, I have to like take like to
no, I'm not
function.
saying. Yeah, I'm
and,
not
like,
saying
live.
don't take that. I was just wondering, because sometimes medication will affect that with our hormones.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Yeah,
I am
my
jealous
question.
of my friend who has a very fast
Just answer.
metabolism because it doesn't matter what she eats, she doesn't gain weight.
well, you can't
She's
worry
like,
about anybody else.
she's
trying to get
110
you.
pounds and eats burgers and fries every day.
Don't be
Well,
jealous of her. She's having issues internally that you don't know about.
What?
I said, don't be jealous of her because she's having issues internally that you don't know about that may spark up randomly later in her life. Like, it's not about the look. Don't care about the look. You have to care about the lifestyle.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's all I've
Hey,
been hearing. I wish old girl
Squishy.
came back, the other one from earlier. And
Hey, Squishy, I got a
you
question
know I'm
for
talking
you.
She ain't
about
coming
DRG,
back.
right? Because I was like,
She
I
ain't
wanted her
coming
to.
back.
She kept focusing on the outside. What? FO Phil, I think you were trying to say so. What you trying to say?
Yeah, I got a question for Squishy. As far as the prompt that you got up here, considering her the field of work she's in, could your weight also not play a factor or a variable in your behavior pattern?
Sorry, I didn't hear the last part of the question. Can you repeat
Could
that?
your weight have like, yeah, could your weight have factors like variable factors as to why your behavior is the way it is? Could it not play like a part?
It would. That's a very broad question because anything could be affecting the way that behaviors are, but generally, it's usually your environment. The best thing that I can really say to answer that question is like your weight inherently just being on you doesn't change or shape the choices or the behaviors that you engage in. That's not something that like I believe. But if we see and like have concerns about like your health and the habits that come attached to that weight, why are you the way you are? Is it because you consume too much caffeine? Is it because you're a heavy smoker? Are you an individual that has a condition that prevents them from eating like a typical diet, perhaps because you engage in, you know, certain behaviors that, I don't know, limit you from being able to do that? I mean, that's my take. I don't know. That's a really loaded question, but if are you asking me personally or broadly?
But
No, I'm just asking just broadly because just based off the field, you say you work at behaviors, and I know just based off of just from the ones that I've been around, people I've interacted with, some that are in like the medical field, they would say that weight has definitely can also impact your behavior issues. But I was just asking that from like,
yeah, if everything has some type of impact and contributes to our mental health, of course it's a yes. I don't know why the question is so difficult to answer. There is
It's not a difficult question to answer. I was just asking for clarification in the regard of like what are we exactly like referring to?
it sounded very simple. Very
Perhaps to you, but to me, it didn't. So that's why I inquired further.
yeah, it's interesting.
So what in relation to that, I think that my field of work and what I do takes into consideration variable factors, but not necessarily like medical ones. So if we have, for example, I work particularly with individuals that have oppositional defiance disorder, autism, ADHD. There are facets to diet that are said to affect them, but I'm not the individual or the one to ask in that regard. So
gotcha.
basically, like that's what I'm trying to say. That's why I was asking more specifically, like, what do you mean? What particular food are we talking about, or condition, or behavior are we looking at? I deal with a lot of like aggressive behaviors, so and I don't think weight is a contributing factor to any of those. Not that I have been told by a supervisor or a clinician of any capacity.
Well, but
Eating a lot of red meat can lead to aggression.
didn't he say can it be? Right? I thought that's what
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I mean,
how,
yeah,
like,
it
yeah,
absolutely could.
literally anything could be. So that's why I was just like, how is this? You know, but I get what you're saying. It's
Like
not.
I'm not the guy to ask. Like like real talk, I'm not the person to ask
That's the
about that.
thing.
I'm not gonna say like
To me, it doesn't
Tylenol
say.
causes autism. I'm not gonna say that red meat makes you aggressive.
But it's
That's
not.
not my take.
But it's not any like it's not saying that that's the only thing. You get what I'm saying? Like I feel like you don't even have to be a professional to even answer that question.
No, everything can affect behavior, weight included. But if I was specifying more so like, are we looking at a particular behavior? Like, just putting my therapist brain on, that's all. But
Eating
yeah,
bad food.
objectively, yes, anything can shape and change behavior, including your environment. And if your environment involves putting unhealthy or putting yourself at risk of conditions, then like yeah, your body's gonna feel it. It's gonna act a certain way. It's gonna feel a certain way.
I have a question. Why is it that you made your profile name Squishy and Fat?
I thought it was a cute name, actually. I thought it was very cute. And then every time that I would come on a panel, it was like this hilarious point. I actually used to be named something else and then I changed it. But yeah.
So now, okay, so for me, right? If I'm someone that like wants to lose weight or be healthy or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would feel that naming myself Squishy and Fat adapts an identity that I live up to.
No, I'm speaking objectively. I think on the internet, whatever like name or username you have, like I don't live and abide by like internet persona names or whatever. But if
I see where you go with it, Rachel.
We
I see where you
all
go with
like,
it.
I'm just saying, like, be careful the things that you label yourself, because we just like, you live up to it, because it's like, I'm known as the Squishy and Fat one. I love my little Squishy Fat.
okay.
Your
I
name
think that
becomes
the
your
name to
identity.
me
I get what you're saying.
rang true in the regard that I think that it's a cute name. That's about as it. If me specifying and saying to you, hey, I actually am in real life off of TikTok.com a person that like is overweight, that's one thing. But if you don't know me, if you have no specification of that, like it really is only relevant to the internet.
You
So
did do that though. You did say that. You even made little comments about rolling on your fat.
like yeah, that's because I have a belly because I'm fat.
Yeah, I
Can I
know.
ask you a
That's what I'm
question,
saying.
Squishy?
You've adapted it. Like, I am the fat one. Like,
Well, I didn't say that. I didn't say and go around and start me as a person in my day-to-day life. Don't go around telling people
You don't go around, but I'm telling you, it's already mentally there. You don't have to say like it
mentally there for you or for me.
for
Is that your
you.
bias and prejudice, or is that
No,
mine?
for you. It literally came
It's
out
the
when you were.
subconscious
It
factor.
came out when you were speaking. Like you said, you like you're good as long as you can walk.
Yeah, I speak of it very much in jest because to me personally, and this is what I was communicating earlier, is essentially like my weight for me right now is not the mitigating factor in my life, in my day-to-day life. That's not something that I'm concerned about. But that's me, right? If you feel some particular kind of way on like my behalf about the way that I name myself and are concerned about the projection that that gives to other people, that's
No.
based solely on the projection of other people, right? That's not how I feel particularly.
No, what sis is alluding to is when you say certain things about yourself, y'all gotta remember you have two different subsections inside your brain, which would be your subconscious and conscious part. Right? You're consciously aware because of course you're talking to us, you're moving, you're cognitive, and you know what I'm saying, you got motor function. But your subconscious is the part of the body where people typically tend to forget about that. But when you say certain things, you say phrases, you typically subconsciously program it. So consciously you're acting on those subconscious programs. That's what sis is getting to. So when you call yourself squishy and fat, and then by the statements that you did make, that's why I say I see exactly where sis is going with this, because she has a valid point with it.
How is that
When
a
you're
negative
saying,
thing though?
hold on,
What is the
listen,
ultimate
you gotta
point of
listen,
that
you gotta
point?
listen, you gotta listen, you gotta listen.
Mm-hmm.
The negativity part is the fact of you degrading yourself by the name. And
I
then
don't
the
consider
state,
that
hold
degradation.
on now, I'm being nice. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
don't respond, listen and comprehend, and then respond. Because if you was listening, you would have caught the question I asked, and you would see where sis is going with it. The whole
Mm-hmm.
point and premise of where she's going is based off of your name and the statements that you have given us. You subconsciously don't even, you've already subconsciously programmed yourself that you were squishy and fat. Consciously, you're not aware that you just basically played into the name
Mm-hmm.
that you subconsciously programmed for yourself. Is basically what she's saying.
It's a username.
Yeah, and
It's a
you're
Yeah,
playing
username.
you
I think all
by the
names.
statements you made. You putting that into. She still not get it. She not get it. But go ahead,
Yes,
bro.
no, that's a reason why. Dang, I was half listening to it, but I can imagine how this is going. But I had to take
At
care of
least be
something.
honest.
But
I mean,
no,
are
not.
the
I,
well, let me just say, like, is the word squishy or the word fat, if we're gonna fixate on the username, are those personable terms or is those objective terms that you would use to describe something? The same way you would describe something to be long or short or
yeah, but I
That
fast
would
or
be
yeah.
slow.
subjective. That would
Yeah,
be
but you still
subjective to
chose those
factor.
words for a reason. You chose that name
Mm-hmm.
for a reason though. So because
Yeah.
you could have been could have had smart and intelligent or funny and whatever, right? So everybody's name has
What
a
kind of
meaning.
obnoxious motherfucker names themselves smart? like,
No, I'm
I
just
like
mean,
a
saying.
person
like
No,
online.
Rachel,
I get what
Tim,
you're saying.
but
I get what you're saying.
y'all see
but
But
my
yeah,
name,
the
right? Y'all see
reason.
what my name is, right? It's fuck your feelings.
Yeah,
Y'all know that. Y'all see my name right there, right?
yeah, everybody's name is.
Uh right. Okay, just because your name right there, uh, I still play towards that name, don't I? Not? Even if I don't want to, I still in some way, shape, or form will play
Yeah,
towards
it's a
the name that's
it's a
being
reason
displayed.
for it.
Correct?
Before we get to the new person, can I ask Squishy a question real quick?
No, I'm not even done with it, Quishy though. I was about to say
But
that.
yeah, but go ahead, Kev.
okay.
But
And
no,
then
all I
you
was
can
about to
ask
say
after.
is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I
yeah.
do get like, cause the thing is just like when people be saying I don't care about certain things or whatever. Like some people, sometimes we do things or say things just to kind of cope with it and make like it is not affecting us anymore. Because if I was to ask people like if they had the choice to be fit or fat or squishy and fat, they will probably change the whole name will change after that. I am fitness something like you even see fitness code like they got they name as that because that's something that they just prioritize. That's something that they live up to or they want to motivate
Yeah.
other people also. So I think a lot of the times when we act like we don't care about things, like our actions, the way we talk and move, and the way we display ourselves, it shows that we do care, and we just like, all right, I'm gonna deal with it. I'm just gonna settle with this because of whatever it is. And then like also we know like if these are things that might have caused these health issues and we will wish to be healthy. A lot of us will wish to be healthy. There's no way we act like we don't want to be. But we know that sometimes it take work, or we already done made this mistake, and now we gotta lay in the make our lay in the bed with it, right? Or whatever. We made our bed. How I messing the whole thing up though? What they say? Make your bed, lay in it, right? Yeah, something like that. So that's what that is though, for real. It's just being observant of it. Stop. Just like the key word earlier when we was laughing about it. I don't know if I got who was in the live with me. We was talking about the word. Basically, dang, I done forgot that fast. All right, it'll come back to me later. But
So what
yeah,
you're saying essentially, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that based on my username that I have on TikTok.com, or if I were to use it elsewhere on an
that's
internet sphere, or just refer to myself in some capacity related to squishy and fat,
yeah, that's a cope.
you are
That's a cope.
saying essentially that based on that, there is some sort of internalized
Yes,
thing
it
that
is.
I'm projecting
It most
based on
definitely
using
is.
that name.
It most definitely is. Yeah, because you would. It's just like when people be saying BBWs and all that stuff. Like you don't. Who else need to know that
Okay. Well,
stuff
I
like
don't
that.
refer to myself as that
Or when
because I
somebody
find
say
that
I'm black and beautiful, that means 9 times out of 10 they are insecure about it. So that's why they have to they're trying to prove to the world this thing. What's the point of displaying these things for what? Who would care that you're squishy and fat? Otherwise, if you're trying to counter with the people that do care about you being squishy and fat, that's the reason why you put it up there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just like my name, Laugh and Learn, right? So I know that it's a reason because it's the lifestyle that I kind of chose. I realized that I love laughing, I love learning and all the other stuff. So it's always going to be a meaning behind it. But it's not a
Mm-hmm.
negative. It's not a negative. What's the word? Negative
Connotation.
connotation, right? It's not a negative connotation behind it. We know that being fat always been a negative connotation, and that's just like when we be trying to make it seem like the N word, like how a lot of us black people done did. Now the N word is supposed to be something, and now we
I
done
would
made
not
that.
correlate the
No,
word
I'm trying to.
fat
The point
with
of
the N word.
All right,
yeah,
let's not
I
move
don't
too
want you to
far
miss the
from
hope,
the main point.
huh?
Yes. No, I was saying like let's not move too far from the main point. No, you're good. it's just yeah. But go ahead, continue, Kev.
The night,
I was,
but go ahead, elevate.
Regulators.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, no one wakes up and says, "I want to be fat," or no one wakes up and says, "You know what? I'm 120 pounds. I really want to get fatter." Like no one says that. So if you're telling yourself that like it doesn't mean much if you
I'm
call
not.
yourself squishy or call yourself fat.
It's very interesting that we've taken the username of an individual online and have applied it in a sense that this is something that they do in their waking moment. That's a very chronically online behavior. But
Well, do you
if
consider
we're
yourself
talking about
fat?
me,
That's what I heard.
Well,
You
since I
admit that
brought
you consider
since I'm
yourself
the
not
one
what
fat.
I said. I don't say that I wake up in the morning and
Right.
I go, "Ah, it's a beautiful day to be a fat ass."
Okay,
Like
hold on. Okay, but
Hold on,
nobody.
y'all.
okay,
Chris trying to
yeah,
say
because
something real
since
quick.
I'm the one that brought it up, because the thing is, I'm not sure why you're fighting it because it's not just about the username. Your words actually reflected it.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to understand she might not put as much power into those words as like we do. You know what I'm
The
saying?
thing
So like
is, your
we have to.
subconscious doesn't know the difference. So, if, like for example, like I'm I'm not in the most fit shape, and I've talked to my boyfriend. I'm like I'm a little fat today, and he was like, "Don't say that," and I'm like, "But it's just fat. Like it's not a big deal." I've said that
But
I was a
that, with
little
the
fat. I didn't say
intention
I
of
was
that,
like
you're degrading yourself, essentially, right? That's why he's asking you not to do that. Not because he doesn't necessarily see it. I mean, he's dating you, but because you are using it in a manner that is harmful and projecting the way that you feel about yourself, and it's in a negative
Well, I just said
context.
I look a little fat today, and
No, fat is a
and I
good
was laughing
compliment.
about it. But the thing is that your subconscious doesn't know the difference between a lighthearted joke or what you think is a joke and what the actual term actually means. So if you're saying that out loud about yourself, doesn't matter the context, your subconscious is going to absorb that as what that actually means.
Hey, Rachel, what I always say, Kev, what I always say, that nigga do this.
But yeah, Squishy. If I could ask you a quick question,
Hmm.
would you say that you're self destructive, as if like the same thing as like someone that drinks too much or does smugs? You know what I'm saying? Would you say that you're self
Self-destructive.
destructive?
I don't
Yeah.
think so. Given, like, I don't think I don't smoke. I don't drink. I drink once in a blue moon. In terms of my habits and eating, I'm relatively casual. Um, I don't say that I'm going to like meet a calorie deficit every day, but I also know better to not eat or to engage in things that are going to make me feel shitty later. Like, and that's just the way that I choose to live. I don't live on a basis of like, you know, which is more, which is less necessarily. But that's, I think like, I understand what you guys are trying to say. I do. The issue is you're speaking to somebody that doesn't feel that particularly attached to that word in that regard. I don't feel harmed or offended in that regard. I don't feel hurt. I don't feel like this is like going to change the trajectory of my life at this current time. That's just not how I feel. So I do understand why you would feel like you would want to say that. Um, but maybe I'm just not the one. Maybe I'm not the audience that you are trying to like sway necessarily.
I mean,
Wait.
I only,
Who's trying
I
to
only
sway
say
her?
that I only say that because
I
at
don't know.
on some type of level you are self-destructing on your own body. You know what I'm saying?
How so?
By allowing your body to be unhealthy. So and by allowing your body to be unhealthy, there is side effects. And when
Okay.
you say you don't want to do anything about it, that's kind of self-destruct.
Because I don't want to start going to the gym and making drastic life changes to my
But
current one.
but the thing
Mind
is,
you, I
I don't
work.
go to the gym. I work out all at
Okay.
home. You know, unless I run.
But that's your
I
prerogative,
run the
right? I
streets.
don't want to do that at this time. I just don't feel like that's relevant to me. That's not the big L in my life right now.
No, but like, but that was I would call it a excuse of you don't want to go to the gym, and it's like you don't have to go to the gym. You could work out in your living room or in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a
The thing is, like, my comment was not based off of trying to get anybody to change. It was based off of, when it comes to losing weight, most people they start losing weight, or and then they get to a place where they're content. They just stop. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of it is a mental game. And so some people, they reach the acceptance level where they're just like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good where I am. I don't want to put in any more effort into this because this is exhausting, right? I think for me, the baseline should not be walking. That's the only thing. You should at least be able to run in case of an
white
emergency.
dog or something.
In case of an emergency. But hey, that is everybody's choice. But just know that you can always, you know what I'm saying? It's the mental game that is the hardest part. And labeling ourselves a certain thing will not give us any incentive or motive to change.
At this time, I can run. I think maybe my words were taken very literally. I said them very much in jest, to be lighthearted, because that's given the conversation. Also, I don't take TikTok.com very seriously, but in other regards, I'm very much able to run. My profession involves me doing those things, so that's not an area where I'm concerned. I can walk. I'm not concerned. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I live a relatively good lifestyle. Could anyone be better? Absolutely. There are definitely changes that can be made. But I think at this time for me, for one facet is I don't hold power to these societally extremely harmful words and terms because I understand what the intention and the function is behind saying those things, or by why
What
some
is it
people
though?
would say those things.
I'm curious on what is your intention.
Well, it's to harm people and to belittle them and to other them, right? It would be to other them.
No, I'm talking
If
about
we're
your
speaking
intentions.
objectively, however, like
He
in the
said
terms
yours,
that I say, like,
not everybody yours.
Kev, did you
hold
want
on, I can't.
Huh? What happened?
No, I don't know if you heard the question you were saying.
Oh,
Kev
what?
asked, what is your intention with the name?
My intention with my name. Is
Yeah.
that what we're asking? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm okay. My intention with my name is that I think it's cute. I think that it is personable in the regard that, like, that's how I like view myself, but not in a negative context. I think there are many people, especially males, that go around and saying like, I'm a big jolly guy, and everyone thinks that that's funny and that's like iconic and that's cute. But then I do it, or somebody feels like, you know, I should be more pressed or concerned about my weight or the way that I look, despite not knowing a single
I mean, you
facet
must
about
care.
me
You must
beyond
care.
what.
That's why you put the name. Or do you gotta care? You care about how you look. That's why you put squishy and fat. That's how you perceive yourself.
Perhaps, but I don't feel particularly pressed about it. It's not something
You
that like.
pressed enough
See,
to
now
make
I
it a
gotta say
name.
something. Now I gotta say something. Cause if you
Mhm.
listen to everything, y'all know me, I sit in the back and listen. You just double down on what you said prior by
Which
saying
is
that right there. What'd you just say? What what she say? She says that's what she identifies as, but when we said that your
Yeah.
name is somewhat of an identity to you, she denied it.
Right.
I be listening now.
It's an objective term. Squishy or fat are objective terms. If you looked at me IRL right now and I decided
They're
to turn on the
objective by
camera,
definition. They're
it's an
subjective
objective
by
term.
person. It's objective by definition. It's subjective by person.
Mm-hmm. And subjectively, you consider these to be negative traits on top of the fact
I didn't say
that
that. I
they're.
just said it's subjective by person. People can perceive it to be
Okay.
negative. Some people perceive it to be positive. But in most light, for the broader spectrum, societal's views of this shit, it's deemed negative. So I mean, if you kind of already have, I don't know, a mind to know this already, then
Hmm.
why still do it?
Right.
Or why not just accept it? Like, what are we talking about?
Except what? That I'm fat? Like, sorry, I think
No,
I've now lost the
the
point.
whole thing of where we went before when Rachel pointed that out when we were whole live on the point and premise of the name and shit. When when she bought it, because I had already caught it. I just didn't say nothing because I was doing something. But when she caught it, I'm
Hmm.
like, I don't think she sees where I'm going with this. Consider the statements you made, which is in collab with the name that you have. I that's what you know what? Forget it.
Do
Let me
you
ask this.
associate yourself with Mr. Fuck Your Feelings? Like,
Yeah.
Yes, because it's my brand. That's my brand. Not just a name.
okay.
That's my brand. Yes, I
And you
identify with it
hold
because it's
yourself
facts
true
over
to your
feelings.
identity for
I
the
don't
brand.
I
I'm
don't live
just,
in I don't live in I don't live in fantasy world or delusion like most people. I live in reality. It's facts over
okay.
feelings. So the name is Fuck Your Feelings because it's facts over feelings. We choose reality over
Mm-hmm.
delusion.
Yeah. Let me
And
ask you this, Squishy.
yes,
If you had the choice,
Mm-hmm.
would you want to be fit and healthy?
I could definitely be thinner. I think
Okay.
that there are
That's all I
sometimes when
needed to
I
hear. I'm
go
done.
and
That's all I wanted to hear. That's all I wanted.
mm-hmm.
that didn't answer the question though, but all right.
Right, because why do people associate thinner with fit and healthy? Like he just said, do you want to be fit and healthy?
Right now I feel healthy, but if you looked at me, you
But it's
wouldn't think so.
not about that.
I'm good. I got the answer I needed. I just knew it.
And
I
that's
get where you're going.
okay. That's okay if like that, if that fits like your narrative and
No, that
stuff.
ain't.
The
It
thing is,
didn't
I'm
like.
not
No, I
pressed
just
about
wanted
it.
to.
I
I
don't
just
feel
wanted to
hurt.
prove that. No, I just wanted to prove that it's just a cope. It's a
Yeah,
cope. Your
it's
name is a cope. The fact that you just answered, because I wanted to see what you was gonna say, but the fact that you said that you wouldn't mind losing some weight, it's a cope. You know, you just approved it.
A cope for what exactly?
It's a cope that you're not really confident in. I mean, not confident, but well, that too. That you really don't want to be squishy and fat, but you're squishy and fat, and you just say, "I'm just gonna roll with it." You're just
Because I
like,
feel
all right.
comfortable in that using those terms for myself at this time. That's not something that I feel
Yes,
like.
because if you wanted to be fit and slimmer, you would have been your new name would have been Fit and Slim or whatever.
No, it would not.
You would
No,
still
it
be
would not.
squishy and fat if you wanted to be the body that you wanted to be.
Wait, but
Mhm.
we have to understand she's using those words to make her feel comfortable. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
sure, yeah, I get it. I get it to
And
make
someone
herself.
like me, I would tell myself, "Oh, get up, you fat fuck, at 6 a.m. to work out." You know what I'm saying? Not to feel comfortable, not to put myself down, but to motivate me. So like, it all depends on like how you use the words.
But no, we can see it clear as day. That's just a settling thing.
That's a
That's
good point.
And that's okay if you feel
You
that way.
has
But
changed.
that doesn't change the trajectory of my life. It doesn't make my life worse or better.
You keep
nobody's
saying
saying
about
that.
us
That's how you.
feeling. I know. That's why I'm like, what is
The fact
going
nobody's
on?
saying that with you, that shows you. You
But you're
telling on
saying it like
yourself.
it's an end all be all. Like I'm
Nobody.
just
No,
coping.
we're bringing
Like what am I coping for?
we're bringing awareness to a potential behavior that may be holding you back from reaching
Holding
whatever
me back
goal.
from what? I'm way
Reaching.
better than I was
Hey,
years ago, but you don't
sis,
know that.
I got you, Rachel. I got you.
Oh my
Listen, Squishy,
god, it's not
this is
against
why I
you.
asked the question earlier.
Uh-huh.
Would your weight have would it not play a part in the behaviors that you distribute? Because apparently people that goddamn got too much shit in their fucking ears because they love to listen, they love to respond to shit instead of listening. Listen to what somebody's saying, comprehend and grasp the concept of where they're coming from, and then respond according to that shit. You've been listening and responding and missing the entire points the entire time we've been sitting here saying this, which is basically playing into Kev's second question on the prompt. Can
Mm-hmm.
people really be set in their ways, or is it a cop out? Yeah, you're setting your ways and you're using this as a cop out. You're doing both.
Mm-hmm.
I don't be seeing how people don't see this shit. But like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, that's just me. I digress.
Okay.
And
You
like,
sound very
This right
infuriated
here
right
shows the
now.
difference between pride and confidence.
No, it's not. It's stating the fucking obvious. Like you're obviously in denial of the shit we're saying, and it's showing because you keep going around and you going with these cop out ass fucking excuses
You
as to
sound
try to
very
justify.
upset right now.
I don't really give a fuck
You
what I
sound very
sound like because at the
emotional.
end of the fucking day, just shut up and listen. Because that's what the fucking be wrong with you people, especially fat people. They don't fucking want to listen to nobody that's trying to tell them shit that can be beneficial for them. They would rather sit
Mhm.
there and live in their denial and cause detriment not just to themselves but the people that's around them, instead of doing something prosperous for them. But hey, once again, I fucking digress. Go ahead, Kev.
Can I say?
No, but
Go
Can I
ahead,
say?
man.
like we have
Say
real
it again.
quick, we have to
Go
understand
ahead, Kev.
squishy works in the mental.
Hold on, real quick.
Like
Let me let my baby go.
Well,
I got you next,
cousin,
Gigi.
cousin. First of all, cousin, you just got in here.
He need to go in here and say something.
Oh my gosh, come on! You see, this is
And
where
hi, cousin.
other people
What's up,
enable
cousin?
other
Cousins, how you
people.
doing?
Don't do that. What I was gonna say, this is the frustrating part about like speaking with people who say they want to lose weight or whatever, is that you can give it to them in the nicest way and they still feel attacked. Like they still feel like people are coming at them. Nobody was berating, nobody said anything mean. You get what I'm saying? And it's still coming off as we're trying to force something on you, or like it's
Every
literally
time.
just a conversation to build awareness. If you want to accept it, you can accept it. If you don't, you don't. But even when Mr. F Your Feelings was just getting more passionate, it was just like, oh, you sound sad. Like,
But he
no,
did sound upset. Objectively, he sounded angry.
no,
Objectively
he is
nothing. If
not
you want to know anything,
angry.
ask me. Don't make
It's
assumptions.
frustration when people are just trying to like give sound, like it's literally like it's right there in your face, and it's like it's frustrating because it is a mental game, and people who are like struggling with weight, the way that, and I know I'm still one of those people. I constantly have to battle my excuses and my reasoning. You get what I'm saying? We will come up with every reason why it's okay to do things the way that we're already doing it. And I like what DGR was saying about like, obviously we get comfortable. You get what I'm saying? To make change, you have to be uncomfortable. Once you reach that level of comfortability, you're not going to make change. And that's
Yep.
it.
At this time, I'm not interested in that. That's not my prerogative.
I mean,
In
obviously.
relation to
That's what
DGR may feel comfortable saying at 6
we're
a.m.,
saying
hey,
though.
you fat fuck, wake up and go and work out.
That's
And that is their prerogative to do that.
what
You
we're
can
That's
lead
saying.
a
not the way
horse
that
to
I
water, but
operate,
you can't
however.
make him
You
drink.
can admit that you are just comfortable. So like you can't be saying
That's what I've
that.
been saying.
Okay, but the thing is, you also said you would like to lose weight.
I said that I
Right.
could. I said that I very well could. But I said that it's not a prerogative for me right now.
Okay,
That's not
that's
my.
fine. Okay, that's fine. And what
You
I'm
still miss
saying is,
Kev's sister.
and it's not even just about you, Squishy. It's about exposing the mindset, okay, that keeps people stagnant. It's not just about you. It's about other people who they say one thing and do another.
I don't think I should be the person to speak on the behalf of the fat populace or
You're
anyone who
not
has a
though. You're
struggling mental
making. That's
mindset.
what I'm saying.
But
You're
your name
not.
is Squishy and
You're
Fat.
not. You're not.
How
Like
does a username make me the most plausible individual to
You said you
speak on the
shouldn't
behalf
speak
of other
for it, but
people?
then you also what's the word? You promoting it at the same time.
Promoting it. Not
Yes, that name is
necessarily.
a
It's a
promotion.
username. Brother, we on
The name is a
TikTok.com. This
promotion,
is
so you're
not
trying to
like the
make it
place to
seem
be
you're
promoting.
the
If
reason
you
why I
look
say
at my
promotion, you're
page,
making it you're trying to normalize being squishy and fat. So
ooh,
it's
how
like
horrid.
basically like you're saying it's okay to be squishy and fat, and people were looking at that.
Okay. I
Hey,
think that
And
it's a
Kev.
little
why
silly.
you
I think that it's a very degenerative argument, but
Hey,
I
Kev.
yeah.
Can I ask you a question real
I
quick?
think it's a little false
And then
equivalence,
you
but
and then you also saying like you don't care, but then like I said, I asked you earlier, would you wanna be more fit and more healthier, right? Then you was like, well, I would
I
want
said that I could be. I said that I
well
could be, right? Like
no, you said
but
you
that's
would
not my
want to
prerogative
you would
right now.
want
I've said
you
probably 10
I
plus
asked you what
times.
you want
That's
to.
not
I
what
didn't
I
ask you
Okay,
what you
okay. You
could
can't
be.
talk over people.
I did.
Now listen. Damn.
I'm about to say I didn't
Go
ask
ahead,
you
bro.
what you wanted to. I didn't ask what you could be. I asked you what you wanted to. That's why you answered it that way. Now you're trying to change it to could be. But if you could be, you wouldn't be squishy and fat if that was the case. So
The thing is, yes, actions, the way we speak, we just the whole point is that we got to realize that a lot of time we be living in denial. That's just what it is. That's just what it is, and it's okay just to admit it. Like, okay, yeah.
It sounds like you're trying to project a certain mindset onto
It is
me and
not.
telling me
It's
what
not.
I think.
It's not that because
But I'm
you're no.
telling
You're
you what I think. It's in your face. I've been telling you.
Look, we really gotta let her go.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
gotta let her go. Like for real.
I'm sorry. I see, but you were trying to sway me, right?
Wait, Rachel, when you
That
say
was your
go,
intention. Your intention was to sway me, but I just don't feel
That
particularly
wasn't. That's what I'm saying.
seen.
All these things. Look,
We're
all these
not
things that.
trying to sway you. We don't care if you're squishy and fat. Like it literally doesn't affect our lives.
The fact that she keeps saying all this extra stuff nobody is not saying, it shows your insecurity. I'm just gonna flat out say it just
that's
show your insecurity.
deflecting at its finest.
Nobody is saying none of these things. You're keep portraying and telling somebody else what they feel about it, and that's not none of our intentions. We were saying if you so-called confident and all this other stuff, you would know if we were speaking to you in a negative way or a positive way. So that's what I'm saying. You keep projecting all the negative stuff out of us that we're not pushing out. We never said nothing. We never said anything bad. We were just saying about basically that the name counters with what you portray yourself as.
What do I portray myself as?
You would, man. I'm not about to keep repeating the same thing.
Wait, hold up. Before Squishy leaves,
I
we
can
have
dip
to.
out of here if you want to let somebody else up. But like, it
It's
sounds
no,
like we're not really getting anywhere.
it's no biggie. I'm just saying if you.
Nobody is against you. Like it's not a big deal. It's just a conversation. You don't.
It is a conversation. So,
Yeah,
and I'm responding to
so
said
we,
conversation.
yeah,
But
so
it sounds like
we would
the
like to
conversation
move on.
began to derail the moment that we began.
Oh my god, I don't think
We
he
would
is
like to
just
move
talking.
on from
Wait, no.
centering your thing.
Hold on, y'all. Just talking.
So Squishy, this ain't. I'm not taking punches at you, but for everyone else, we have to understand she's a behavioral specialist. You know what I'm saying? So like this whole time, like you guys are saying, she's bringing out the bad stuff in us because she is a behavioral specialist. Like to herself, she's thinking, okay, why are they saying this? You know what I'm saying? So like we have to keep that in mind. You know, so.
Oh, I did. I did for sure. That's why I told like you can ask Kevin, Rachel, and a couple others that been here. But when I come in, I literally sit in the cut and let everybody talk. Because they say the longer you let somebody talk, they're gonna eventually run themselves into a fucking wall or into a corner they can't get out of. So I was sitting here and the whole time we was listening, I'm like, in my head I take mental notes of things and key parts and moments of what people say because based off the prompts and things, those same things you said prior are gonna eventually cycle back around into conversation, and most people double down from it. And like I said, I'm about facts over feelings, reality over delusion. And the fact that the delusion and the assumptions, that have been projected and made saying that we were all against you. Like, look, trust me, if I was against you, you wouldn't even still be in here. I'm gonna just be completely fucking honest with you because by the time my brother or my sister up there get annoyed and I can hear it in their voice, you're fucking gone. I don't waste time. I don't play games. I don't beat around the bush or any of that shit. I'm straight to the fucking point. And I was very specific with my words. And for the fact that you sat right here and said that I directly called you fat, no, I said fat people. I'm speaking in general. But see, that right there plays into the point of what Rachel and Kev were saying. You will take something that is a generalized statement or a general perspective and you will literally make it a fucking anecdotal attack. And you've been doing it the whole time. So I agree with Rachel, I agree with Kevin. I'm pretty sure I agree with everybody else when you say move the fuck on.
Okay.
And let's elevate like that name down there. So, no, but is James still there? I ain't heard nothing from
I am
James.
hollering.
James, you there? He was
he-
preaching earlier. I ain't heard from him in a while.
He might have to mute and unmute. I think because he did go on pause at one point in time. He might have to mute and unmute so we can hear him. I know he's still there.
Low key, man. I feel like resetting. It's been dry. This ain't gonna put.
Yeah, I think you could reset.
Oh shit! Man, I was talking about a reset. I'm trying to fire up the Blizzy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there you go. If refresh and get you a re-fire up. There you go. All right, y'all. I'll be right back. Y'all come right back.
Okay, bye.
Wind blowing. Cut the air off, bro.